It is time for the second of two here tonight from Herr-Baker Field in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. Game 2 of the doubleheader today as the Woodchucks look to bounce back from a 6-1 loss in 6 innings that was called off due to rain. Now the Woodchucks 0-4 here at Herr-Baker Field this season. This is the 5th time of 6. These two will face off here. Will Charlton with you here tonight once again on the Woodchucks Baseball Network. Happy you're joining us on this Wednesday night for Game 2 of the doubleheader. As Wausau only put up one run. It was off an RBI double by Mike McGinnis. And that came back in the 6th inning of Game 1. The one run that the Woodchucks would score. And Fond du Lac was able to get on the board early. It was 3 runs in the first frame. Doubles by Connor Cooney and Teddy Dieters in the first 3 batters of the game. Pretty much set the pace of play as it was all Fond du Lac in Game 1 pretty much. And now taking the field on defense are the Dock Spiders for Game 2. And they're throwing these guys out here. In the outfield, it's Travis Strickler in left, Connor Cooney in center, and then Kelson Johnson in right. In the infield, the corners manned by Jake Serrain and Teddy Dieters, third and first. And then up the middle, Drew Berrigan at shortstop, Jacob Anderson. At second base, behind the plate is Brady Catterhagen. On the mound is the right-hander from Concordia University, Wisconsin, J.T. Hockers. The batting order tonight for the Wausau Woodchucks, it's Colby Wallace, Brent Witter, Mark Schallenberger, Colin Brigham, Drew Berkland, Christian Mitchell, Jake English, Ryan Blackwell, and Brennan Holt. As it's going to start off with Colby Wallace in just a second here after the next few pitches will be thrown by J.T. Hockers. And Hockers coming into this game, making his second appearance as the Dock Spiders' first appearance came against the Green Bay Rockers back on July 9th, which was this past Sunday. A game where the Dock Spiders lost 10-9. Came in for 2/3 of an inning, allowed 1 hit, 4 runs, all were earned, and walked 3. Comes in with a 54 ERA as Colby Wallace swings at the first pitch by Hockers and fouls it off. First time leading off this season for Colby Wallace. The Rancho Santa Margarita native and the product of Cal State Fullerton. 0-1, and Wallace in the air into left field, and it's in playable territory for Strickler, and he makes the grab for out number 1 in foul territory. Colby Wallace was 1 for 2 in Game 1, and now is retired here in the first at-bat of Game 2. So now that brings up Brent Witter. The Sheboygan, Wisconsin native and the Evansville ace. Now playing in his 26th game and starting his 26th as a Wausau Woodchuck, Brent Witter. And first pitch from Hockers outside on the fastball. Brent Witter in Game 1 of today's game was 1 for 3. Had a single, and that was it. Nothing else. 1-0. And it's a high fastball. Ball 2 from Hockers. That hit he had in Game 1 was his 28th of the season. And now has 6 hits in the last 3 games he's played in. So picking up the pace has been Brent Witter these last few games. 2-0. And that's strike 1. Umpires pretty much just shifting around clockwise in this game. Now behind the plate is Pat Weber. Or counterclockwise, I guess that would be. And Witter into right center. And he's going to second. This is going to be a close play, but he will be in there standing up. And that is a 1-out double for Brent Witter here in the first. And the third baseman picks up his 5th double of the season. And that is now a 6-game hit streak for Brent Witter. He had 2 doubles in the win against Green Bay, 18-7 on Monday night. And now continues the solid play from the plate as he gets the Hawkers and sends one into the gap in left center. And now that brings up his power-hitting Evansville Ace teammate, Mark Schallenberger. The left-handed hitting Schallenberger, who is having an incredible start to this young season of his. In only 7 games played, he's batting .444, which technically is the best batting average on the team, but he's not qualified to lead in that position. And first pitch from Hawkers, high and outside on the fastball. 12 hits, 4 doubles, 3 home runs, which 2 of which came against these Fond du Lac Dock Spiders in his home debut a week ago today. The 16-8 win for the Woodchucks over Fond du Lac. 1-0 and 1-1. Fastball down the middle. He has 12 RBIs, 5 of which came against the Rockers in the 18-7 win. The season-high total and runs scored for the Woodchucks. 1-1. And that hit Schallenberger on his leg. He's off to first base. Back-to-back base runners allowed by Hawkers. As that brings up the first baseman, the Oklahoma State Cowboy, Colin Brigham, who unfortunately his 15-game hit streak did come to an end last night against the Green Bay Rockers in the 8-3 loss, was unfortunately 0 for 4. But even though that hit streak came to an end, he still does have 9 hits in the last 5 games he played, and he tried to put one down the first baseline there, but it did not work. Instead, it's fouled off. But in 20 games played, he's batting .350, which is qualified for the best batting average on the team. He has 28 hits, 9 doubles, which is second on the team behind Dalton Pearson's 14 now. And Brigham into right field. That is a chance to clear the bases. Coming home as winner. Schallenberger's being sent or kept at third base. But that is an RBI double for Colin Brigham. And he scores the first run early here for Wausau. Second double of the inning. And that puts runners on second and third with only 1 out here in the first. The Woodchucks strike early and score their 6th run of the season here at Herr-Baker Field. In only 4 games, they had to combine 5 runs scored. Were shut out the first time here, then put up 3 the next time, and then back-to-back 1-run outings for the Woodchucks here. And they're on the board with 1 already today with runners on second and third for Drew Berkland, the Minnesota Golden Gopher, who is now on a 20-game on-base streak. Or a 19-game on-base streak, rather. If he gets on base, it'll be 20. 1-0. Another high fastball, 2-0. He was 1 for 3 in the first game of this doubleheader, was hitting in the 4 spot, the cleanup position. That's now Colin Brigham's job as Berkland swings and misses. But on the season, he has 31 hits, 4 doubles, 4 home runs, 23 RBIs, 21 runs scored, 4 stolen bases, 19 walks, and a .470 slugging percentage. 2-1, and Berkland misses on the breaking ball. The slider from Hawkers, and now it's a 2-2 count. He's looking for out number 2 here in the inning. Dalton Pearson, Jesse Donahoe both getting the day off. 2-2, and Berkland lets it fall in for strike 3. He did strike out twice in his other 2 at-bats in Game 1 besides his single. And now he struck out for a 3rd time today. All looking, too, on a breaking ball. That is out number 2 here in the inning. As now Christian Mitchell steps to the plate. Takes first pitch fastball, strike 1. Christian Mitchell, the Central Michigan Chippewa from Romeoville, Illinois. now playing in his 7th game as a Wausau Woodchuck this season. And he's down 0-2. He was also 1 for 3 in game 1, had one of the 5 Woodchuck hits. Only one was for extra bases, though, and their first 2 already tonight are for extra bases. 0-2 from Hawkers. And the breaking ball just misses inside on the slider. 304 batting average for Mitchell, 7 hits, 2 doubles, 3 RBIs, 2 walks, 3 runs scored, 400 slugging percentage. And now is playing game number 7 as a Woodchuck, like mentioned. 1-2 from Hawkers, way inside on the fastball. Having to step out of the batter's box to kind of get away from that was Christian Mitchell. And he's looking to hope to avoid leaving basers stranded at 2nd and 3rd. 2 runners in scoring position. Something the Woodchucks did twice in game 1. 2-2. And Mitchell just fouls it off. Two from Hawkers. Once again. And his pitch down the middle. Christian Mitchell fouls it off again, though this one down the right field line and way into unplayable territory. As we'll try the 2-2 once again. And Mitchell lined into the glove of Jacob Anderson at second base. And that will end the inning. Good try by Mitchell. Tried to push one over the head of the short second baseman. But Anderson was waiting for it and is able to make the grab. But the Woodchucks are on the board. RBI double by Colin Brigham. But runners are stranded at 2nd and 3rd. It's 1-0 Woodchucks into the bottom of the 1st here on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
I'm so glad you and Jack are home. His birthday was supposed to be today, right, Mom?
That's right.
He wanted to meet me 8 weeks early.
He sure gave us a scare, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's so perfect. It's just you and me, Jack. Can I take him to show and tell?
We'll see.
The savings are heating up this summer at Cellcom. Save up to $300 on the top phones from our most iconic brands. Plus, save $150 on all connected tablets, smartwatches, and cameras. Keep kids busy this summer with a tablet, track your steps with a smartwatch, or monitor your cabin with a camera. Now, unlimited data is more affordable than ever with our single unlimited plan. Offering unlimited data for only $29.95 per month for just one line. Visit cellcom.com/save for details.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
And we're back. It's time for the bottom of the 1st inning. As the Woodchucks have taken the field on defense, let's see who's out there. In the outfield from left to right, it's Mark Schallenberger, Colby Wallace, and Drew Birkland. On the corners at 3rd is Brent Witter. First base, Colin Brigham. Up the middle, shortstop is manned by Christian Mitchell. Second base is Brennan Holt. Then you got the Oral Roberts Golden Eagle, Ryan Blackwell behind the dish. And on the mound is the Southwestern Oklahoma State product, Matt Milner. Making his second appearance and second start for the Woodchucks, second half arm, making his return to Wausau after last summer. Although in his first start, he got a little roughed up by the Green Bay Rockers. Had 3 home runs leave the right field wall there, that 290-foot wall at Capital Credit Union Park in Ashwaubenon. Only went 3 innings in that outing. Struck out 1, allowed 5 hits, 4 runs all earned. walked one and has a 455 opposing batting average. He's facing off against Connor Cooney. And he throws his first strike of the night. It's a 1-1 count. Matt Milner is going to try and focus more on the four-seam fastball. Throw it up in the zone as fly balls go to die here at Herr-Baker. But there he goes with the off-speed. Matt Milner will feature a four-seam tonight, a changeup, and he's going to really try to work in the curveball and the slider. 1-2. And it's an inside fastball. And there was what I was talking about. He tried to go up in the zone with this four-seam. He's really going to try to make hitters put the ball in the air tonight. 2-2. And it's inside. The count is full to Cooney. Connor Cooney in game one of the doubleheader was 2 for 4 with an RBI and a double as well as a run. 3-2. And Cooney on the ground. It's to Brendan Holt. He fields it cleanly and makes the play to his Oklahoma State teammate, Colin Brigham. Or I should say his former Oklahoma State teammate now, as Brendan Holt is transferring to the University of South Alabama. But Connor Cooney down. Out number one here in the first is Matt Milner. Now he'll be facing off against the best hitter on the roster of the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders, Travis Strickler. The left fielder from Embry-Riddle Aeronautical in Arizona. Native of Glendale, Arizona is Strickler. And he takes first pitch breaking ball from Matt Milner. Low for ball one. 1-0. And Strickler thought about putting a bunt down. Brent Witter was running all the way from third base to be ready for it. Travis Strickler batting .317 on the season. Had 2 hits in game one as well. 2-0. And Strickler down the first base line but goes foul. Tried to pull it, the lefty hitter. He has 46 hits on the season, picking up hits number 45 and 46 in game one, both singles. He also scored a run, 2 runs, was walked once and stole a base, did Strickler. 2-1 from Milner. Outside on the splitter. It's a 3-1 count now to the Embry-Riddle Aeronautical man. 6 doubles, 2 triples, 16 RBIs on the season for Strickler. Milner, 3-1. And it's outside. That's ball 4. And there's the first base runner of the night for the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders, in this game at least. They had plenty in game one. As now comes to the plate will be a guy who had a very good first game in Teddy Dieters. He was 2 for 3. He had 2 RBIs in game one. It was an RBI double in the first, putting up the first run of the game off Nick Shuddy, who picked up the loss in game one. And Milner makes Dieters hit in the air. And that's what I was talking about. As Drew Berklin and Brendan Holt will congregate in right field. It's Brendan Holt who makes the catch. And that's out number 2. As the Woodchucks are looking to be in the lead after an inning here at Herr-Baker Field. And that has not been the case once this season. The Woodchucks have never led here so far this season. After one full inning of play, that is, they have led going into a different inning, but they've never led after an inning. As it's a 1-0 to Jacob Anderson, the Michigan State Spartan. Matt Milner checks over to Strickler first base, but he's just fine over there. Matt Milner, the right-hander from Duke, Oklahoma. 1-0. And this one's hit in the air as well. And it's going into shallow center. And it's going to be Christian Mitchell who makes the grab out there. And that is how the bottom of the first will end. The Woodchucks are leading 1-0 after the first. And they're going to be looking to add on to the lead when we come back on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
Over 600,000 Americans are projected to die of cancer this year. 250,000 will likely battle muscular dystrophy. 5,000 may be diagnosed with ALS. But one person can become the difference. All it takes is you to help researchers improve the health of Wisconsinites by participating in the All of Us research program. Join today to feel the power of one.
To buy your own Woodchucks merchandise, visit the Woodshed at Athletic Park, or you can visit our website, www.woodchucks.com. The Woodchucks are on top 1-0 after one inning of play here at Herr-Baker Field in Game 2 as they look to bounce back from the 6-1 loss in just 6 innings in Game 1. As they're back up to bat, and it starts off with the 7-hitter, the DH in the game, Jake English, who's always either the catcher or the designated hitter when he's playing. And it's the Kansas Jayhawk leading things off against JT Hawkers. And this one's hit into right center. And it's going to be not caught by Kelson Johnson. And Jake English into second base. And they're going to call it a double. Leadoff double to start off the inning. For the Woodchucks, that's the third double of the game already. All 3 hits have been doubles. As Jake English picks up his 4th double and his 17th hit. And that brings up Ryan Blackwell, the catcher, who swings and misses through the fastball. Ryan Blackwell, the Oral Roberts Golden Eagle. Playing now in his 3rd game as a Woodchuck, batting .167. Only 1 hit, but a couple of walks as well. 0-1. And Blackwell takes it inside and high. 1-1 from Hawkers. As the Woodchucks looking to add on to this already 1-0 lead. 1-1. And Hawkers misses outside, and Jake English is off to third. So now Blackwell can just put one into the outfield. Now more than likely score Jake English from third base and make it a 2-0 ball game, or he can just put one up the middle, or just hit it in general, get a hit, and get on base himself. The 2-1 to Blackwell. And Blackwell into center. And it is not caught. English comes home. That's an RBI single for Blackwell. Or are they saying Cooney caught it? They are saying that Blackwell was safe at first because they're saying that Cooney did not make the grab in center, but the umpires are going to congregate And this could be a big call in this game. It could be 2 outs. If Cooney did catch, because I'm pretty sure English did leave early if that is the case. And they're going to call him safe. It's an RBI single for Ryan Blackwell. 2-0 Wausau. As Doug Coe, the field manager for the Dock Spiders, trying to get an explanation. The Dock Spiders took a 4-5 season lead on the Woodchucks in Game 1. And are now 4-0 here. At Herr-Baker Field over the Woodchucks. And now Brennan Holt steps to the plate. He thought about putting a bunt down, but instead Hawkers goes high and misses outside. On the off-speed pitch. Brennan Holt, 1-0. Hits this one down the right field line. It will go foul. Brennan Holt in Game 1 of this doubleheader today was 0 for 3, struck out twice from Jacob Young, the only pitcher in Game 1. And Brennan Holt fouls off the 1-1. It's now 1-2 from Hawkers. Elevated fastball, just is not able to get the bat on the ball in the sweet spot. Brennan Holt, 1-2. And he does not come through on the breaking ball. The curveball gets away from Catterhagen behind the plate. And off to second goes Blackwell. Now the double play ball out of effect with no outs here in the second as the Woodchucks with another runner in scoring position. And a chance to add on to the already 2-0 lead. Woodchucks looking for their first win of the season here at Herr-Baker Field. 2-2. And Holt sends it foul down the right field line. So funny enough, get this. JT Hawkers plays for Concordia University, Wisconsin. Who plays there? The Lakeshore Chinooks. So instead of maybe deciding to play in Mequon, he decides to come here in Fond du Lac. And Brennan Holt fouls off the 2-2 once again. That one on the curveball. Hawkers, who just finished up his freshman year with Concordia. A native of Middleton, Wisconsin. Made 8 appearances this past year with Concordia, 5.54 ERA in 13 innings pitched. Struck out 8, walked 5, gave up 17 hits, 12 runs, 8 earned. And the 2-2 once again to the left-handed batting Holt. And he stays alive. If Brennan Holt can get on base, this will be a very good at-bat. He's now fouled off, I want to say, at least 4 pitches. You know, sometimes you kind of lose track in your mind when you're just announcing the game and not really thinking about it. But he has definitely fouled off at least 4. 2-2. Once again, outside curveball. And the count is full to Brennan Holt with the top of the order and Colby Wallace on deck. Getting a win here would be very nice, especially since Donahoe and Pearson both had the day off. Payoff pitch. And Holt into shallow center field. And it's stopped by Cooney. Blackwell's on his way home. That's an RBI single for Brennan Holt. What an at-bat by the second baseman. That's how you get it done. 3-0 Wausau. Three hits from 7, 8, 9 to start off the second inning. And that is how you do it. That brings up the top of the order. And with no outs still, it's Colby Wallace in a 3-0 game already for Wausau. Brennan Holt off the second. And he will slide in safely. Stolen base. The guys went to Buffalo Wild Wings in between the game. That must have gave them some juice or something because their bats are hot right now. Maybe the hot wings translated to hot bats. I don't know if that's the way that works, but hey, we'll go with it. "1-0 to Colby Wallace, as Brennan Holt is picked off at second base. Got too big of a lead. Drew Berrigan was there covering the bag. And he is picked off. That's out number 1. That is not a good way to pick up for the first out here in the inning. As now Colby Wallace dealing with no runners on. But the 1-0 misses low and outside on the fastball. 2-0 from JT Hockers. Colby Wallace flew out in foul territory to Travis Strickler in his first at-bat, as he's looking for redemption here. 2-0, and Wallace lets the curveball go in there for strike 1. Colby Wallace in game 1, like I talked about, he had a hit, one of the 5 in the game, was also hit by a pitch, so he's 1 for 2 with 2 on-base appearances. 2-1, and Wallace fouls it off on the off-speed pitch. 2-2 now between Wallace and Hockers. And Wallace into deep center. Or not that deep center, but it's into the glove of Connor Cooney for out number 2. And that's the problem with getting picked off at second. If you're Brennan Holt and you're right there, you tag up to third with only 1 out. But now after you get picked off, that is now out number 2, when he could have been at third. So now the Woodchucks have to keep the inning alive with Brent Witter, who hit the first double of the game and the first hit of the game in his last at-bat, which came just an inning ago. First pitch from Hockers, and he puts down a bunt, but it just goes fouled on the first base line. That was a good idea by Brent Witter. He hit a bunt single in game 1, so he's trying to do it again here. And now the 0-1 to Witter. And Witter into deep left field. And it's off the wall. Witter's off to second. And he has 2 doubles in 2 innings. He crushed that one. And if the dimensions weren't so deep here, that is gone. Obviously, you can't really say that without knowing for sure, but if this game is at Athletic Park, Brent Witter just had his first home run of the season. But instead, he hits double number 2 in the game. And his bat has been on fire recently. Just a few games ago, he was hitting in the 250s, now into the upper 280s. And Mark Schallenberger up for the second time. He was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. And the power-hitting lefty Evansville ace up for the second time against Hockers. Righty-lefty matchup. 0-1 to Schallenberger. Outside on the off-speed pitch. The splitter from Hockers. Kind of has that low motion into the strike zone. 1-1. Outside on the breaking ball. The spiking slider from Hockers. Two one. And Schallenberger into right center. There it goes. Witter's on his way home. Schallenberger is going for third. And he slides in. It looked like he slid into the dirt, though, and took a face full of dirt. And Schallenberger, after it looks like he just absolutely ate it in the dirt, has a RBI triple. And that scores Brent Witter. Four to 1 Wausau. Schallenberger tried for a triple last night, but was thrown out at third. He gets the triple tonight. And now his hit streak up to 7 games. In only 8 games played, he has a 7-game hit streak. And it's 4-0 Woodchucks as Doug Kill, the field manager for Fond du Lac, is out there talking it over with JT Hawkers, who the Woodchucks have gotten a hold of so far. Five extra base hits already for the Wausau Woodchucks. And 7 total hits in general. It's 4-0. As Colin Brigham now up for the second time in the game. And he's already 1 for 1 with an RBI double. As the 1-0 drops in for strike one on the curveball from Hawkers. There is an arm warming up already. It's a left-hander in the pen for the Dock Spiders. 1-1. Brigham swings and misses at the curveball once again. He's down 1-2. Can't see what number that is for the Fond du Lac pitcher. I can't imagine Doug Coe is going to have Hawkers in there after this second inning. And that does nothing but give Matt Milner more confidence to just throw strikes. 1-2. And Brigham swings and misses. And he's tagged out after that ball was in the dirt. That's Hawkers' second strikeout. And that ends the inning. But the Woodchucks add 3. Highlighted by the 3 or the RBI triple by Mark Schallenberger. And it's 4-0 after an inning and a half here in Game 2 of the doubleheader. We'll be back for the bottom of the second when we come back on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
Over 600,000 Americans are projected to die of cancer this year. 250,000 will likely battle muscular dystrophy. 5,000 may be diagnosed with ALS. But one person can become the difference. All it takes is you to help researchers improve the health of Wisconsinites by participating in the All of Us research program. Join today to feel the power of one.
To buy your own Woodchucks merchandise, visit the Woodshed at Athletic Park, or you can visit our website, www.woodchucks.com.
I'm so glad you and Jack are home. His birthday was supposed to be today, right, Mom?
That's right.
He wanted to meet me 8 weeks early.
He sure gave us a scare, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's so perfect. It's just you and me, Jack. Can I take him to show and tell?
We'll see.
Three-run frame for the Wausau Woodchucks, and they lead it 4-0 over the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders. We're into the bottom of the second as Matt Milner and the Woodchucks defense back out there. And they're facing off against the catcher Brady Catterhagen to start things off. Milner rather, not Witter. Witter's playing third base. Milner, first pitch to Catterhagen, misses low. 1-0. And Milner goes right at him with an off-speed pitch for strike one. A little splitter action from Matt Milner. And now when you're up 4-0, he really wanted to attack the zone high tonight and make hitters pop the ball into the air. And he had 2 of those outs. In out number 1, there was a foul ball that was hit in the air as well from Catterhagen. He's down 1-2, the UW Platteville man. He didn't play in game 1 of the doubleheader. The catcher, now playing his 15th game, batting .200 for the Dock Spiders. 1-2 from Milner. And the fastball just misses. Outside. Matt Milner forced 2 of those pop-ups in the first inning. Told me pregame that's what he was really trying to do tonight. 2-2. And this one's hit into the air as well. And Mark Schallenberger grabs it in left center field. Out number 1. As now comes the UW Oshkosh man, Jake Serrain. Jake Serrain, who did play in game 1 of the doubleheader, was playing third base as well in that one. He was 0 for 4, but did have an RBI and did reach on fielder's choice. Milner, first pitch, slider in there for strike 1. And he was saying against righties, he really wants to try to attack the zone with that slider of his. Slider and curveball, especially against the right-handed batters today in this outing. 0-1. And this one's on the ground. Christian Mitchell gloves it. And it's going to be a tough play anyway, and he's not even able to make the throw over to first base. Kind of lost his footing trying to make the throw and dropped the ball. So that is the first hit of the game on the board for the Dock Spiders. And Serrain, the second base runner, allowed only so far for Milner in 6 batters faced. That brings up Kelson Johnson, the right fielder from St. Petersburg College in Florida. Righty-righty matchup once again. Milner, the curveball, just misses high. Kelson Johnson. 1-0. Fouls it off down the right field line. Pushed by Johnson, who's batting .250 through 4 games played as a Dock Spider. 4 hits, averaging 1 hit per game. Obviously, if you're batting .250, that is pretty much what the average would be. All singles, has an RBI, 2 doubles, and has scored 4 runs. Or 2 walks, rather, not 2 doubles. 1-1. And he swings and misses at the off-speed by Milner. Matt looking for out number 2 here in the second. One, 2. And this one's on the ground to Mitchell. And the put out at second, the double play won't be in time. But out at second is Jake Serrain. So reaching on fielder's choice is Johnson, but that is out number 2 here. And the runner only staying at first base. As that brings up the University of Washington product, Baron Zamora, who is the DH tonight. Zamora has played in 2 games, does not have a hit yet. And first pitch from Milner misses low on the splitter. It says on the board that he's a distant grandchild of Andre the Giant. I mean, okay then. As Milner checks over to bring him in at first base, holding on to Kelson Johnson now, but nothing doing. I wonder what that means, distant grandchild. How distant can distant be in that sense? Foul ball by Zamora. One. From Milner. And the off-speed in there for strike 2. As Milner was looking to get out of the inning. And he throws it over to bring him in at first base once again, but back in there safely is Kelson Johnson. So now it's a 1-2 once again. Milner, the delivery, and it's an off-speed. Gets away from Blackwell as it's a stolen base for Johnson. And that was ball 2 that missed high. Kelson Johnson, first stolen base of the season, now in 5 games played. And the count is 2-2 to Baron Zamora, the native of La Mesa, California. 2-2, Milner. Fastball, swing and a miss. And Baron Zamora goes down. First strikeout of the game for Milner. And it's still 4-0 Woodchucks after 2 full innings played here at Herr-Baker Field. We're into the third after this on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
The savings are heating up this summer at Cellcom. Save up to $300 on the top phones from our most iconic brands. Plus, save $150 on all connected tablets, smartwatches, and cameras. Keep kids busy this summer with a tablet. Track your steps with a smartwatch, or monitor your cabin with a camera. Now, unlimited data is more affordable than ever with our single unlimited plan. Offering unlimited data for only $29.95 per month for just one line. Visit cellcom.com/save for details.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, you know, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
It's time for the top of the third as the Woodchucks are in the midst of going through the order for the second time. And it starts off with the right fielder from the University of Minnesota, Drew Birkland. Drew Birkland up for the second time, was one of 2 strikeouts so far for JT Hockers, who's in inning number 3 of work now, and first pitch curveball is in there, catches the bottom half of the strike zone, and it's an 0-1 count to Drew Birkland. The recent freshman from Wayzata, Minnesota, Minnesota Golden Gopher, Big Ten man. Fun fact about Drew Birkland, he played in a game that I called between Minnesota and Illinois this past year. The second of a 2-game stint I had calling the series between Minnesota and Illinois. 1-1, and Birkland lets it drop on the breaking ball. 2-1. Birkland, like mentioned, had 1 hit in game 1. That was his 30th hit or 31st hit of the season. And the 2-1 taken inside and low on the fastball. Counts 3-1 as Birkland looks to reach base for the first time. Not today, but in game 2, of course. (3-1). And Birkland lets it drop just slow on the curveball. He's off to first. That's the second straight inning with the leadoff man aboard for the Woodchucks. As Drew Birkland now on first base. Brings up Christian Mitchell for the second time. One 0 to Christian Mitchell, the Central Michigan man. As that ball gets away from Dieters at first base. Or that's now Kelson Johnson at first base. So Kelson Johnson now at first base. And Mitchell that one misses high. It's a 2-0 count. Drew Berkland now at second on the pass, on the error, and the check over. First error of the game. 2-0 to Mitchell. Runner in scoring position already. And Mitchell takes inside on the breaking ball. It's a 3-0 count from Hawkers. And it's taken outside. That's back-to-back walks. As runners are now on first and second with no outs here in the inning. And coming to the plate will be Jake English. English tried to put a bunt down, but instead takes breaking ball outside on the curveball by JT Hawkers. He's already 1 for 1, had that leadoff double in the second, also scored a run. So 1-0 count to Jake English. And English, this one's hit into deep left field. At the wall is Strickler, and he makes the grab. Wow, Jake English really got a hold of that baseball, but with how deep the dimensions are here at Herr-Baker Field, he just missed the home run, and I mean just missed it. Travis Strickler was at the wall, which is about 360, give or take, to where he was standing. If Jake English is just a bit more toward left field, that ball is gone, without a doubt. But instead, he flies out. And that is out number 1 here in the third. Drew Berkland at second could not tag up due to the fact that he was already along the base path. As Ryan Blackwell for the second time, he's 1 for 1 with the RBI single that scored Jake English back in the second. He also scored the second of 3 runs in the second. As Hawkers now facing off against Blackwell for the second time. It's an 0-1 count with Berkland still at second and Mitchell at first. And Blackwell into the glove of Serena at third, and he turns 2. He tagged Drew Berkland on the base path and then makes the throw in time to the first baseman, which is now Kelson Johnson. And that is a double play, which ends the top of the third. But it's still 4-0 Woodchucks. Into the bottom of the third we go on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
Over 600,000 Americans are projected to die of cancer this year. 250,000 will likely battle muscular dystrophy. 5,000 may be diagnosed with ALS. But one person can become the difference. All it takes is you to help researchers improve the health of Wisconsinites by participating in the All of Us research program. Join today to feel the power of one.
To buy your own Woodchucks merchandise, visit the Woodshed at Athletic Park, or you can visit our website, www.woodchucks.com. First zero on the board for Wausau tonight, as grounding into a double play was Ryan Blackwell. And now Matt Milner out there for inning number 3 of work, and he'll be facing off first against the shortstop, Drew Berrigan. And his first pitch to Berrigan in there for strike 1. Berrigan, the 9-hitter from Embry-Riddle Aeronautical. And the breaking ball drops in on the bottom half of the strike zone for strike 2. So Milner, who's retired 6 of now 8 batters faced. And this one's on the ground to Brennan Holt. And it's not fielded cleanly, but Brigham kept his foot on the bag. And Holt, even though he fumbled it off the ground ball, is still able to make the play in time to his Oklahoma State teammate as Drew Berrigan's out on the ground out, 4-3. So now that brings back up the top of the order, and Connor Cooney. Second time they're coming around. Connor Cooney 0 for 1. And takes first pitch curveball from Matt Milner in there for strike 1. Connor Cooney, like mentioned earlier, in his first at bat, couple hits in game 1 of the doubleheader today. 0-1. And the fastball, 0-2. Connor Cooney now with 36 hits on the season after the doubleheader. Or game 1, that is. And his batting average up to 269 after game 1. 0-2. Milner just goes outside, and it looks like Blackwell was giving him a nod there. And it looks like Milner put it exactly where Blackwell wanted it. A little more up in the zone, and then more outside on the fastball. Went Milner. 1-2. And this one's on the ground. It's to Brigham at first base. And he pitched it over to Milner for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down here in the third. And now with 2 outs comes Travis Strickler, who is only one of 2 base runners allowed so far in the game. For Matt Milner, who's looking to go 1-2-3 in the third here and keep the Woodchucks up 4-0. First pitch to Strickler, fastball, strike 1. That fastball up in the zone. Milner really finding that spot so far up in the zone. He was really telling me pregame how much he wanted to make sure that he was getting it up in the zone today with his 4-seam, and he's been doing it very well so far. 0-1. It's taken outside. One to Strickler. And it misses outside on the fastball from Milner. Obviously, Milner, if the right field wall wasn't as close as it is in a Schwabenheim. Probably has a better outing statistically last time out, but instead did allow 3 home runs. The third one being a gap shot in any other ballpark. I mean, that one hit the top of the right field wall at Capital Credit Union Park. And at Athletic Park, it's a gap double, more than likely. 3-1 misses low, and Strickler's on for the second time. So Strickler, the second walk allowed from Milner. Now with a strikeout and 2 walks, as well as only 1 hit allowed so far. Matt Milner now facing off against Teddy Dieters, looking for out number 3 in the bottom of the third. Dieters 2 hits, both for RBIs in game 1, and he fouls off the inside fastball for strike 1. Another fastball up in the zone for Milner. Oh, 1 from Milner to Dieters, the right-handed batting first baseman. And off to second goes Strickler, and the throw in time. Great throw from Blackwell. And Strickler is thrown out at second base. That ends the inning. Dieters will be the leadoff man in the fourth, but that will do it for this inning. It's still 4-0 Woodchucks, as we'll have a special guest joining the broadcast when we return on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
The savings are heating up this summer at Cellcom. Save up to $300 on the top phones from our most iconic brands. Plus, save $150 on all connected tablets, smartwatches, and cameras. Keep kids busy this summer with a tablet, track your steps with a smartwatch, or monitor your cabin with a camera. Now, unlimited data is more affordable than ever with our single unlimited plan, offering unlimited data for only $29.95 per month for just 1 line. Visit cellcom.com/save for details.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
And we're back on the Woodchucks Baseball Network as I'm joined by pitcher Colin Murphy on the call now.
Hey, Will, how are you?
Doing good, doing good. Nice little 4-0 lead for the Woodchucks so far. Looking good. The bat's finally getting going here at Herr-Baker Field. Great to see.
I think it's taken 2 months for us to heat up at the field, but we finally got it going, didn't we?
Yeah, and this guy right here is a big reason for the 4-0 lead. Brendan Holt, RBI single in his first at bat, already up 2-0 against JT Hockers, who's into his 4th inning of work now. And Holt, that one's lined into the glove of Jacob Anderson at second.
That's just some tough luck right there, I would say.
And what are you going to do? It happens. But Colin, very nice outing for you in game 1. 3 full innings, striking out 4.
Yeah, I changed my focus compared to last time, just trying to make them self-get out. Just try not to overpower them, stay within myself, just keep it all simple.
And Colby Wallace lines a hard drive into the glove of Kelson Johnson at first. That is two well-hit balls that are just in the wrong place.
Yeah, that's two at bats in a row where that's just tough luck, you could say.
But it seems like the hitters overall so far really seeing
They're definitely getting
Packers
used
stuff
to.
so far.
Yeah, they're getting used to this environment, I guess, because doubleheader, long day here, little break in between, you could say, and back out here grinding it away.
Well, I've heard it's also just kind of hard to see the ball as a hitter in this ballpark.
Yeah, it definitely gets lost in the trees back there, I would say, especially night games. So that kind of explains why we were hitting the ball so well earlier in the game, because there was a little bit more sunlight out here.
Bunt put down by Brent Witter. He's going to beat it out. That is a bunt single, the second of the day for Witter.
That's just a good IQ play by Brent. He's been laying a lot of bunts down recently, and I guess saw the third baseman playing a little bit further back than he probably should have been. Didn't do his scouting, you could say.
That's already the 8th hit now on the board for the Woodchucks. And I don't know if you're aware of this, Colin, but coming into this game tonight, 5 runs total in 4 games.
Yeah, I heard it was something crazy, like 3 or 4 runs in 33 innings here, so it was time for a breakout game from us.
It was just a matter of time as the Woodchucks already on a good pace to try and win this second of 2 today. As Witter now picks up his 3rd hit of the game already. He's 3 for 3, 2 doubles, 2 runs, and a single. As Mark Schallenberger up for the 3rd time. He's 1 for 1 with that RBI triple he hit. And you could tell how excited he was. Were you a little nervous that he might have slid into the ground with his face there at first?
I was questioning the decision on the slide because there wasn't really a play, you could say, over there.
No, there wasn't.
It's just recently he's been pushing a little bit harder, maybe getting out a little bit at times when he shouldn't be, but you gotta love the effort from him.
You sure do. That was a really well hit ball and possibly even gone at Athletic Park. I mean, obviously it's a bit deeper here. 330 to each foul pole, and then 400 to dead center.
This place is a pitcher's dream.
As Schallenberger on a line into center field, but it's into the glove of Connor Cooney. So that is out number 3. It stays 4-0. But we will be heading into the bottom of the 4th, where Matt Milner will look to continue his good outing so far here on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
I'm so glad you and Jack are home. His birthday was supposed to be today, right, Mom?
That's right.
He wanted to meet me 8 weeks early.
He sure gave us a scare, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's so perfect. It's just you and me, Jack. Can I take him to show and tell?
We'll see.
The savings are heating up this summer at Cellcom. Save up to $300 on the top phones from our most iconic brands. Plus, save $150 on all connected tablets, smartwatches, and cameras. Keep kids busy this summer with a tablet, track your steps with a smartwatch, or monitor your cabin with a camera. Now, unlimited data is more affordable than ever with our single unlimited plan, offering unlimited data for only $29.95 per month for just one line. Visit cellcom.com/save for details.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
Well, Charlton and Colin Murphy with you here on the Woodchucks Baseball Network as it's time for the bottom of the 4th, and Matt Milner, who has looked very solid so far out there for inning number 4, and he's facing off first against Teddy Dieters.
I guess the only noticeable difference that you can say between this outing and his last one is that he's attacking batters a lot better. Felt like last time he was getting behind, having to throw fastballs where he probably shouldn't, and he got hurt by the rockers.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a bit different trying to throw at that ballpark where right field's only 290 feet away, but
Yeah, it's definitely more comfortable pitching here. I mean, it's 400 dead center, and the wind's blowing straight in from right field, so you're just trying to stay middle away a lot of times.
hard hit ground ball to Witter by Dieters. And he makes the play to bring him in. That's why Witter is a fantastic third baseman. And Milner still has only allowed 3 base runners, 2 walks and a hit.
I think he's just keeping it simple. I felt like last time he was trying to do too much. Like I said, he was getting behind. So seeing him have this outing compared to when we were in Green Bay is, I mean, it's refreshing for me just because I know that he puts in a lot of work for it, and then he also really enjoys doing well and helping out his team.
As the first pitch thrown by Milner misses, or is in there for strike 1 to Jacob Anderson. But he was telling me pregame he wanted to command the strike zone, especially throwing it more up in the zone with his fastball. He wanted to make hitters hitting into the air, and so far they're doing that. Putting it on the ground and hitting it in the air. So his command has been
It's a
very
lot
solid
better
so
this
far.
time, I'll say. I guess he focused on something different in his midweek bullpen. I really didn't watch it because so much has been going on around the Woodchucks here recently. And
This one's on the ground again to Witter. And the play in time to bring him in once again. That's back-to-back 5-3s. And that's 2-2 down here in the 4th as Milner looking to face off only against 3 batters once again. Teddy Dieters was the leadoff man here in the 4th because of Travis Strickland being caught stealing in the 3rd. But now looking for back-to-back, or I guess not actual back-to-back 1-2-3s, but only facing off against 3 batters for back-to-back innings, will be Matt Milner facing off against Brady Catterhagen, the catcher. And Catterhagen, one misses low. I've noticed a few times that Blackwell behind the plate has been kind of nodding his head at Milner. It looks like that's just because he's really hitting these spots so well so far.
yeah, Ryan just likes to, he has like a whole mindset about the whole at bat. It just depends on the batter and what he sees from behind the plate.
This one into foul territory and is grabbed by Brent Witter. He was tracking over his shoulder and found it. That's a 1-2-3 inning for Matt Milner and the Woodchucks on defense. And he is feeling good so far. A little smile on the way back into the dugout. As they'll be back up to bat when we come back for the top of the 5th here on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
I'm so glad you and Jack are home. His birthday was supposed to be today, right, Mom?
That's right.
He wanted to meet me 8 weeks early.
He sure gave us a scare, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's so perfect. It's just you and me, Jack. Can I take him to show and tell?
We'll see.
The savings are heating up this summer at Cellcom. Save up to $300 on the top phones from our most iconic brands. Plus, save $150 on all connected tablets, smartwatches, and cameras. Keep kids busy this summer with a tablet, track your steps with a smartwatch, or monitor your cabin with a camera. Now, unlimited data is more affordable than ever with our single unlimited plan, offering unlimited data for only $29.95 per month for just one line. Visit cellcom.com/save for details.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
Into the top of the fifth we go here at Herr-Baker Field. It's 4-0 Wausau. 4 runs, 8 hits for the Woodchucks. None in the run category for the Dock Spiders. 1 hit, 1 error. As JT Hockers goes way high and outside on the off-speed to Brigham.
That had to be either miscommunication or that ball just slipped out of his hand that went straight to the backstop.
Well, obviously, as a pitcher, gotta really kind of be happy there's no base runners on the base path with that kind of pitch.
Yeah, he is lucky. That's the first pitch of the inning.
And Brigham really tried to come through on that one.
I guess this guy's figured this out the past 2 innings because he's putting up back-to-back zeros after the first 4 runs in the first 2 innings.
And the Woodchucks only had 1 base runner each inning, too. So forcing a few flats as Brigham hits this one deep into right field. And it's out of here! Kellen Brigham, second home run of the season. Straight pull to right field. Gets it over the wall. And I'll call on your guys down there in the bullpen doing their line dance now.
Yeah, we're a bunch of goofballs, I'll say that.
I love seeing that. That is awesome. 5-0 Chucks. Brigham second extra base hit of the game. And now I got to check back in my notes because I know I have that extra base hit stat somewhere in there. I guess I don't anymore, but it was something like he had 4 games with extra base hits, or 2 or more extra base hits in like 9 played or something like that. That was expired a couple games ago. But as Drew Berkland beats out a throw to first base on the first pitch swinging.
His speed hurried him up. It's short and made him make a tough throw on the run. But back to Brigham. He's typically a guy that just lives in the 4-hole. He just kind of it's not like it's a weak hit in the 4-hole, but he doesn't really get a lot of launch angle out of it. But it's very consistent over there.
He loves that right field line.
Yeah.
Loves it. It's always around the right field line. During that 15-game hit streak, he was always putting extra base hits down the right field line. That one just had a bit more carry to it. And obviously, after his 15-game hit streak ended last night, he's responding really nice in his game so far. 2 RBIs, a double, and a home run so far for the 6'6" first baseman from Oklahoma State.
I feel like he's going to have a big year next year over at Oklahoma State.
I mean, if you look at his numbers this past year, they were very impressive. And it's only his first year there. He batted .330 in 42 played, 31 started.
I did not see that. If I'm being honest, I didn't look up stats from my teammates. I know that a lot of people played good, but I didn't know he was hitting .330 as a Power 5 guy over there.
His first year there, too. Transferred over from Johnson County in Kansas.
Didn't know that either, so I guess I'm learning a lot of new things while I come up here.
Well, there you go. Your first game in the booth with me, and obviously you have to have some sort of knowledge to be the announcer of this team, so, you know. Kind of have to work as the media relations guy, too, as well, so I have to pretty much know the ins and outs about every player. I got a whole profile on you, too, if you want to flip through that note sheet and figure out what I got for you. It's not anything special, but
I wouldn't expect it to be if I'm being 100% honest.
1-2 to Mitchell. And that one gets away from Catterhanger behind the plate. Drew Berkland off the second on the pass ball.
Just taking advantage of the other team's mistakes. That's where we pretty much like if they're not the other team's not giving us a lot, then we really don't have a lot of success besides the 18-run game against Green Bay 3 nights ago. But I feel like the most games that we thrive is when we take advantage of the other team's mistakes.
I mean, obviously there's 2 errors on the board already for the Dock Spiders. This one's hitting the center by Mitchell. Connor Cooney coming way up for it. Jeez.
Yeah, I think the wind's blowing a lot harder than what I'm giving it credit for here.
Well, I mean, look at the American flag in center field. It's not even moving.
Yeah, that was a weird ball. It must have been backspun a bunch to come that far back.
I mean, I played a little bit of outfield in my days playing baseball, and I remember having to make some weird tracks, especially on balls that had backspin. So that is Connor Cooney really had to sprint up from where he was initially to make that grab, but that's out number 1 here in the top of the 5th. As Jake English to the plate. And Catterhagen just keeping it in front of him on the low breaking ball. I guess they're actually going to say Drew Berkland reached on error. Since that was the 9th hit of the game, the home run by Brigham, because there was 8 coming into the inning. So that is a reach on error for Berkland. Just kind of noticed that.
Guess you could call that a scores decision.
I feel like it could have gone either way, though, because it was to the shortstop Berrigan. He just was not able to make a clean throw on it.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you.
Jake English, 1 for 2. That double that led off the second, the highlight of his day so far. And the 1-1, as almost getting hit by the ball, was first base umpire. And if I'm not mistaken, from last game, that's now Steve Bartelstein at first base. He almost got drilled on the check back over from.
Yeah, he almost got nailed in the chest there. That could have ended up good for Drew Berkland.
As English hits another one into deep left field. And it drops. And Strickler can't handle it. Berkland's going to be way home and safely. Easily. And also easily into second base with his second double is Jake English. And that's going to be it for Hawkers. About Jake English. 2 doubles tonight.
2 doubles, and then he had a hard line out. I think that's the 3rd or 4th inning that he did. But he's been seeing the ball well in the second game of the doubleheader.
And while we have a pitching change coming into the game, I can't tell what number that is just yet. We'll find out in just a second here. That's number 13, Cade Walker. And we'll talk about his stats in just a moment, but how's the arm feeling, Colin?
Felt pretty good this morning, and then sitting on the bus and beat-ups, it's gotten a little tight since, but it's what happens when you pitch. I mean, this comes with it.
And I was saying earlier on the broadcast, you weren't up here for this, but I was saying the guys went to Buffalo Wild Wings during the time between games, and I was saying hot wings to hot bats. Is there a correlation there, you think, at all?
There has to be. I mean, you can't say that we're not well rested. I will say that. I guess a little bit of frustration from last game is leading to some power in this game, because I don't have the box score right in front of me, but I know we have a plethora of extra base hits today.
Yeah, I believe the total is now 8 in the game, because there was 2 in the first, then there was 3 in the second. Okay, it's 7. 7 extra base hits so far, because there's been 2 in this inning as well.
7 out of the 10 / we're going to give Berkland a hit.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that can go either way as well. Berkland out the 20 game on base streak, by the way, too.
He ever since I've gotten here to Wausau and playing with the team, I feel like he's just been one of the most consistent bats behind Schellinger, as he or is it Schellinger or
Schellenberger?
Okay, I felt like it was Berger. Berkland and Schellenberger have just been like 2 of the most consistent bats since I've been here, just always getting hard contact or at least drawing walks and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And then we have a lot of good defense around us. Like we have Witter over at third and center. We have
Pearson,
yeah, DP, and then rotates in the corner outfields. We have Schellenberger, like I said earlier, and then Berkland's been switching between outfield and catcher for the past 2 weeks, but I felt like he's just a utility guy. You just throw him out there, and he does whatever you need him to do. And then behind the plate, we have a lot of good guys. I mean, I've personally thrown to Blackwell and English, and I feel like they've both called my games pretty well as McCann here earlier today.
And Matt McGann, a guy coming back to Wausau, as this one's placed on the right field line by Blackwell. It's fair. It bounces fair. Jake English coming home. Blackwell going for second. He's in there. English is safe at home. He avoids the tag. RBI double for Ryan Blackwell.
That's smart on Ryan's part, because he knows that reliever coming in the game, he's probably going to try to get ahead with his first batter. Knows the fastball's coming, and he's just sitting on it. That's a great swing by Ryan.
Especially in a lefty-righty matchup.
Yes. So he pitcher could either went two ways. He could have went change up first pitch or fastball. I'm not sure if this guy has a slider or whatnot, but that's typically what you do coming out of the bullpen. You either want to almost gets hit, but you either want to get ahead either way. And there's different ways to attack that. Like today, when I was facing lefties, since I'm a right-handed pitcher, I was throwing a lot of change-ups early, just keeping them off balance, thinking that they're comfortable, and pulling the string out from them, and then just continuing to pound the zone.
Yeah, those approaches certainly are self-explanatory, as Brendan Holt to the plate now for the third time in the game. He's 1 for 2, the 9-hitter. And I guess he's the beer batter tonight here too, but he hasn't given out any free beer yet, so.
No, he's been making hard contact like the rest of our lineup today. It's just sometimes when we have hard contact, it's just going right to the other team. So just some tough luck, but.
Well, the game's going pretty well, and every batter besides the leadoff guy has reached base so far.
I think I don't have the stats in front of me, but I know in Major League Baseball, when you get the first leadoff guy on, then I think it's like 2 or 3 times the chance of scoring a run that inning.
Brendan Holt fouls off the 2-1. Ryan Blackwell picking up his first extra base hit of the season. The catcher from Oral Roberts University. He had 1 hit coming into this game today. That was against the Green Bay Rockers in the 18-7 win that was called short due to 7 innings because of rain. 2 games out of 3 that have been cut short due to rain. Obviously, the Woodchucks not big fans of rain so far in the last few days. Brendan Holt now at 2-2. But Blackwell as well, also his first RBI of the season. And first 2. He has 2 tonight so far.
Yeah, he's been putting some good wood to the bat. He just hasn't found success, but it's good to see him have the same approach and get some success with it.
Holt swings through it. Cade Walker picks up a strikeout. Haven't had a chance to really even go through his stats yet from this season, but that strikeout is now his 25th in 15 appearances now. He's 0-1, 1 save, 5.12 ERA, walks and hits per innings pitch rate of 1.4, opposing batting average 239. Has given up 16 hits and 19 1/3 innings pitched, 12 runs, 11 earned. Like mentioned, 24 strikeouts, now 25, and has walked 11. So, not a terrible reliever out of the bullpen for the Dock Spiders.
I have seen a common occurrence in this league in correlation to walks and earned runs. Typically in this league, if you walk a guy, more than likely he's scoring. So typically the guys that you see that have success are the guys that allow the less free passes as they can.
Well, look at a guy like Nab, for example. Not many walks in the season, and his ERA 2.5.
Yeah, it's pretty good. He's just a guy that we throw out there, and we know we're going to get 4, 5, 6 solid innings out of him, and then turn over to the bullpen, and then we do our thing, pretty much.
There you go. You don't allow too many walks yourself, though. At least you didn't today. As Colby Wallace got hit by a pitch on the inside elbow by Cade Walker.
I try my best. You're just trying to attack hitters. It's just sometimes they're not chasing what you're throwing, or they're not biting to your approach that you have. But walks always happen, and just how much you can limit them, depending on the umpires and everything like that.
Right, obviously every strike zone is different, and you have to get adjusted to how the umpire calls the game. As Cade Walker now facing off against Brent Witter, who is having a fantastic night at the plate so far, 3 for 3, 2 doubles and a single. And now, that is the 3rd game in 4 that he has multi-hits.
Raise that batting average up for him. I know he plays about every game, but we're 40-something games in, and he's still being consistent like he always has. So it's just nice to see him do that too.
Cade Walker, the native of Chicago, Illinois. Shout out Chicago, myself as well. Very fun to always shout that out, as he is a product of Cuesta College. Left-hander, 6'4", 165. Just finished up his sophomore year with Cuesta College. 1-1 to Witter. And that one, I think he might have hit Witter's foot for a second, but Ryan Blackwell might have had a chance to maybe make a little trek home there, as Catterhagen was late to that ball.
I think if he's going full speed from second to home, I feel like he could have made it, but he didn't know where the ball was initially, and it's better to safe than sorry with Brent Witter up to the plate hitting pretty hot, as you said earlier.
Well, now there's no force out with runners at second and third. So Witter, if he puts one past the infield on a hit, it could score possibly two. That's a broken bat, though. And thankfully it goes foul. That's the thing with these wood bat leagues. Hit the wrong part of the bat. That thing is toast.
Yeah, that's splintered pretty good out there. It's always funny to see broken bats because none of them break the same, not even the same model. It's a nice part of the game that you kind of miss when you go to college and you're playing with aluminum and composite bats. You really don't think about it that much. And you come out to summer ball, everybody uses wood bats. And
Right.
I actually finally broke my first one the other night.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I remember that you were pitching in the last time out, and I remember broken bat.
Yeah.
So is that a good feeling as a pitcher?
It's a good feeling, but it was a single. So
right.
I knew if he was using a metal bat, then easy catch for the right fielder, and we go hit in the dugout. But
It's baseball. What are you going to do? 2-2 to Witter. Fouls off the inside fastball from Cade Walker. As Witter looks to keep the inning going with two runners in scoring position. Although there is a silver lining to this 4-0 lead, there has been 5 base runners left on for the Woodchucks. So this 7-0 lead, rather. I don't know why I said 3. Well, 3 runs in the 5th, I guess. That's probably why. Witter into center field.
He's going to score 2 more.
Wallace coming home. And Cooney won't even try it. 9-0 Woodchucks. Witter 4 for 4. Are you kidding me?
You could say when it rains, it pours, huh, Will?
I guess you really could, yeah. That's an appropriate thing to say now. So 5 runs in 4 games coming into this one. They have 9 in just not even 4.5 innings played yet.
I mean, it's always nice to see us score a lot of runs, especially when Milner's out there throwing pretty good game. I would say so myself. 4 complete innings, 0 runs, 1 hit. Like you said, 2 walks earlier. I mean, get some offensive support, and you have the whole dugout going. It's also a better experience for us, but it's always nice to come to an away place and show them who we are.
Well, the thing is, like, we know how good this team is. It's just they have these games where there's just some sort of weird funk at the plate.
Yeah.
And the talent on this team is unmatched, but there is just some weird thing that goes on during games like last night against Green Bay, for example, Schallenberger on the ground. Oh, this could be a tough play, actually. Anderson won't make it in time.
Yeah, like Coach Moss was saying it the other night, we have a really good game like we did on I want to say Saturday or something like that when we scored 18 against Green Bay, and the next day we come out lay an egg, and then the next day we come out we hit really good. I think we beat I forget
these guys right here.
Was it the Dock Spiders?
Yeah, it was 4-1 here on July 4th, and then the next night we went 16-8.
Yeah, and then it's just like we have good games, and then we had bad games back to back. And we just had, I think we're 2 games away from going on a little run here in the second half that could put us in the playoffs.
We just need one more sweep, I feel like, because we haven't had a sweep since the doubleheader against Madison, which was 3 Wednesdays ago now today, I want to say.
Wow.
So it's been a while. Everything else has been splits. We haven't been swept since.
Well, that's good. At least taking 1.
And, I mean, I feel like getting swept today is probably something that won't happen. I don't want to say it, but I'm knocking on wood just in case.
I sure hope not. I mean, we have a commanding lead. I mean, all respect to number 13 on the Dock Spiders, but we're up 9-0. We have runners on second and third. We have a hot bat up to the plate who coming into the game, 15 RBIs, hitting 350. I mean,
well, now up to 17 RBIs as well. 1-1 to Brigham. Lefty-lefty matchup, and Walker misses low on the off-speed. But yeah, like you were talking about, Brigham came into this one 15 RBIs, now has 16 and 17 off his RBI double in the first and his solo shot to start off this inning. He's batting for the second time already in this inning. And he has runners in scoring position. Woodchucks looking for more than just 5 here in the 5th. Brigham thought about the outside pitch from Walker, but laid off it. Count is 3-1.
He always puts these good at-bats together. Like he fouled off a pitch earlier in the at-bat, but he knows that this pitcher isn't really commanding the zone like somebody would want to, and he's being a little bit picky right now.
Brigham through the 3-1, so now the count's full. I had to do this so many times against Green Bay the other night where I started writing into the next inning on my score sheet, and sometimes I think there were 5 hitters who hit twice in 1 inning, I believe. Or no, it was 3 times in 2 innings that 5 hitters hit. That was crazy.
That Green Bay night was pretty fun to watch. I was out in left field chilling in the bullpen, just having a good day. I think we had 3 or not. Jesse had 2 home
4
runs.
home runs. Because
Jesse
even
had,
Holt hit 1.
yeah, big power bat and Holt pull it out in the right field.
3-2 to Brigham in. And he swings and misses, but because, well, I mean, he's got to run to first. Catterhagen is able to make the throw in time to Kelson Johnson, and that is a strikeout for Cade Walker. That does end the inning, but the Woodchucks put up 5, and that was a fun one, Colin. Let's do that again in the 6th, huh?
That sounds like a great idea to me.
We'll be back for the bottom of the 5th on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, you know, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
Over 600,000 Americans are projected to die of cancer this year. 250,000 will likely battle muscular dystrophy. 5,000 may be diagnosed with ALS. But one person can become the difference. All it takes is you to help researchers improve the health of Wisconsinites by participating in the All of Us research program. Join today to feel the power of one.
To buy your own Woodchucks merchandise, visit the Woodshed at Athletic Park, or you can visit our website, www.woodchucks.com. In for inning number 5 is Matt Milner, as he's first facing off against the Dock Spiders here. And Jake Serrain, the third baseman. 1-0. And Serrain fouls it off. Serrain, the only hit that Milner has allowed so far.
I don't want to jinx him, but he is 4 innings, 54 pitches, so
It's not too bad.
he's around, I would say, probably 11, 12 pitches an inning. So he's been pretty efficient, so if he just keeps on that pace, then I don't see a problem with him going 7 tonight. Just depends on what Coach Moss wants to do.
I know that Brock was talking about maybe between 4 or 5 from Milner, but now he's into the 5th. He only won 3 against Green Bay. And obviously, with the dimensions here, it's a bit different. I can't tell if anyone's warming up. There's a huge light pole that blocks the complete view of the bullpen from here. As this one's towered into foul territory along right field, and Berkland can't get to it.
I'm more so looking to see if McGann's down there. It doesn't look like he has his gear on. I want to say.
Is he the bullpen catcher for this one?
Yeah, he's the closest one. So if
Yeah.
he's sitting down,
He is sitting down.
Coach Moss has a lot of trust in Milner here, and he's probably going to go up for the 6th again. And might get a guy up going and see what the 7th looks like if he keeps on this pace.
Well, I know it's supposed to be him and then Dominic Reed in this game today.
Yeah, I think Dom is going to end up closing it out. If I I don't think we'll use Henschel just because,
No really reason to with this lead,
especially
if it holds, of course.
yeah. Also, we play tomorrow because we're in the Northwoods. We play.
Of
every
course,
day. That's
of
what we
course,
signed up for. So
of course.
you don't want to use.
And I announce every day, so you know.
You don't want to close out a game with your closer, and it's not really a situation that you would recommend. I guess you could say. But
It's a leadoff walk to Jake Serrain, the third of the game thrown by Milner. And the first someone not named Travis Strickler.
I mean,
So Serrain now on for the second time.
he just got behind him and couldn't get back without leaving a pitch over the middle. So
What's that like though when you? Because I noticed you had, I think when you walked the batter today in 4 pitches after the 3-pitch strikeout. What was that kind of like? Did you just like kind of lose command of a few pitches?
I think we started off with a slider, and then I threw 3 fastballs. I nowhere close to the zone. I bet people can go watch the replay if they really feel like it. I didn't know what was going on myself. I hit a little reset button right after the guy touched first and went back and got in a ground ball. 2 pitches later, I want to say.
Oh yeah, it was something really quick on the next at bat.
Just trying to minimize mistakes, and especially when you have a 4-pitch walk, you really can't defend it, so you have to try
This
to be.
one ripped down the left field line, but goes foul from Kelson Johnson.
You're just trying to be quick, but at the same time, you have to control the game and not let it speed up on you. And there's a lot of strategy that goes behind it. I forget the quote. It's like 80% mental, 20% like ability. I could be wrong.
I would not know, so I'm gonna trust you on that one.
I want to say Pete Rose or Johnny Bench, somebody like that said the quote, but
You know, now it does kind of sound familiar now that you mention it.
I'm definitely getting the numbers wrong. I do know that. And I know a baseball player said something about numbers being mental and ability, but it's the only game where the biggest, fastest, strongest guy doesn't win every single time.
Right.
Because we watch it in college football all the time. The biggest, fastest,
Of course.
strongest team.
Same with basketball too, when you really think about it.
Basketball's starting to change a little bit.
Oh, absolutely.
It's starting to become an older game compared to when my Kentucky Wildcats used to run everybody with their Anthony Davises.
Popped into foul territory by Johnson and goes on top of the dugout of the Dock Spiders. So Johnson staying alive at 1-2 against Milner. Still looking for round number 1 here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
I feel like that's a lot of college sports right now. Like a lot of the older guys. I mean, the transfer portal has opened up so much opportunity for guys.
Sure has.
A lot of people don't like it, but there's a lot of positive that comes out of it because, I mean.
Well, because you transferred yourself, didn't you?
I did transfer. Went to my first school for around 8 weeks, and then I decided it wasn't the place for me, and then I found a home at Lincoln Memorial.
Deep drive in the center. Well, I guess not that deep drive. It looks different on this angle in this press box. Because every fly ball looks like it's off of top speed here, and then just see it die when it gets into the outfield. Because obviously you know this probably better than anyone as a pitcher. This park, this is not a fun one to hit fly balls at.
No, I mean, we saw Jake English almost put one off the. I for sure.
Oh, it's gone at Athletic Park without a doubt.
That might hit the building across the street at Athletic Park, and I thought I was going to go off the scoreboard here, and then the left fielder doesn't go to the warning track.
Yep.
This ballpark just flies different, plays different. You have to be a little bit more scrappy when you play here. You can't, unless you have massive power like some of the guys in this league too.
Very true. I've heard that only 3 people have hit home runs at this ballpark before Brigham did tonight. This one's hit into shallow left by Zamora, and that's caught by Schallenberger. He made a throw back to Brigham at first base, too, trying to throw out Johnson on the base path.
Yeah, he was trying to do a little.
Or Serrain, rather, on the base path.
He tried to do a little deke, throwing his arms out like he didn't know where it was. I guess.
Oh, did he do a little fake out there?
Yeah, he did. He kind of just threw his hands out like he didn't know where it was, and.
So he's trying to trick the base runner there. I see. Okay.
100%.
That's actually a pretty good strategy by Schallenberger. Well, no wonder he was a preseason All-MVC outfielder this year. On and off injuries throughout the season. Only played 30 games for Evansville, but
he's a good player. He's definitely going to play some pro ball in his day.
Oh yeah, I mean he was on the draft boards just Guess this wasn't his year. This one's hit into shallow right center, and diving crab made by Drew Berkland. Wow. That's fantastic.
How many games in a row has he made a play like that? I feel like he's saved my behind a couple times. I feel like every time I turn to a fly ball in the outfield, this guy is always making a diving catch.
That was fantastic by Berkland, and that ends the inning here. Milner only faces off against 4, and 3 different fly balls to each outfielder. Ends the 5th. It's 9-0 Woodchucks into the 6th here on the Woodchucks Baseball Network. Time now for the top of the 6th as Matt Milner now in line for the win. And Drew Berkland leads off this 6th. This one's hit into center field and is caught by Connor Cooney. Oh, he made kind of a risky thing there, like throwing his mitt down toward the ground. If the ball falls out, that's not a catch. He didn't put 2 hands on it.
Yeah, that's kind of just like one of the gray areas that you have. You really can't camp under it. You really can't basket catch it. So he took a little bit of a risk there, and I guess you could say it paid off for him this time.
Yeah, well, that is out number 1 here as the Woodchucks 9-0. Cade Walker in inning number 2 of work. Last outing for Walker came on July 10th, which is just a couple of days ago, in the 16-10 loss for the Fond du Lac Dockspires against the Rockford Rivets, a team of the Woodchucks will be seeing again very soon, next Thursday and Friday down in Rockford, Illinois. Can't wait to go back down there. Gotta love Rockford. Came in for 2/3 of an inning, struck out 1 and walked 1 in 3 batters faced.
Seems like he's just like a give me an inning type of guy every 2 days.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, one and a third, 2 full, 1 full. Just kind of seems like one of those.
He just goes out there and gets outs and does
Right. 3-0 to Mitchell, and it's a 4-pitch walk. Mitchell on for the second time, both walks in the game. As Mitchell in game 1 was 1 for 3. Only reached base on the single he hit, but now has picked up walks 3 and 4 on the season.
He's going to be a really good player at Cincinnati. I'm not sure if you've announced that yet. But.
Yeah, he has. Jake English on the ground. It stays fair over to Serene at third. And he throws out English as Johnson is able to make the grab before English beats it out. He's retired for the second time, but nonetheless, still a fantastic night at the plate for English. He's 2 for 4, 2 doubles and RBI and 2 runs scored.
I feel like he's swinging a hot bat as of recently. Had a home run 2 nights ago or whenever it was.
He did home run against the. His home run came against these guys actually. It was in that 16-8 win.
I guess everybody hit pretty good that game, you could say. I think we had 17 hits as a team. I think that matters. It was something ridiculous.
Well, it was 21 the other night against Green Bay. I don't know if you saw the post on social media after, but it was player of the game. The entire Woodchucks roster signed Brock Moss. So that was a little fun we had up in the press box trying to figure out who was the quote-unquote player of the game. Then we just feature stats of everyone because like there's so many guys who are 3 for 4, 2 for 3, and Donahoe 2 home runs, 4 RBIs, a double.
Yeah, that's just one of those games that it's fun to watch as a player when you're not playing.
Oh yeah,
and just like because we struggled a little bit before that.
absolutely.
I forget the series that we played before Green Bay, but yeah, it was definitely fun to watch.
Cade Walker misses low on the breaking ball to Ryan Blackwell, looking to keep the inning alive. He's 2 for 3 in the game, 2 RBIs, a double, and 2 runs scored. Scored the 8th of 9 so far for the Woodchucks back in the 5th, that 5-run frame, which they scored more in that frame alone, or tied the season total coming into tonight's game of runs scored here in 4 full. 5 runs in 1 inning as opposed to 5 runs in, if I'm doing the math right, 36 innings played before? Well, 33 because of the fact earlier ended in 6, so yeah.
But yeah, this place, as I've said, is a graveyard. Balls like to die here, as we've seen multiple times tonight.
Sure have.
But it's great to pitch here. I'll say that.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it.
Not that I don't like pitching at Athletic Park, because home fans are awesome. But pitching at a place like this, you're not really scared of much, you could say. It's probably the most MLB-sized field we have in our, would you call it division or conference?
So in the Great Lakes, there's the East and West. We're the West, obviously. So I guess it would be intra-division or subdivision. Subdivision. There you go. Yeah.
Then this is probably the biggest ballpark we have. Maybe Lakeshore gives them a run for their money.
Yeah, right.
I felt like the ball flew a little bit better there when we played there.
It definitely did.
Definitely a lot bigger than Green Bay. I'll say that.
Cade Walker just let up a walk to Ryan Blackwell. He's now at first base, 2 outs. Runners on first and second for the Woodchucks as Brennan Holt up for the 4th time of the game, 1 for 3 with an RBI single. He head back in the second. The soon-to-be South Alabama Jaguar transferring from Oklahoma State.
I did not know that.
Once again, as the broadcaster, obviously got to know a handful of things of the team. I just learned that today, actually, so fun fact I learned today. 0-1.
He's been a little bit of everywhere, then. But
never took a medical redshirt year at LSU, then transferred to Oklahoma State, was never on scholarship, and now working around that transfer rule, having to avoid the waiver. So they're saying because of the fact he was never on scholarship, they're able to just handle it fine, have him transfer to South Alabama with no worries. Way inside on the breaking ball goes Cade Walker. Lefty-lefty matchup here between himself and Brennan Holt.
That's all. Like there is some negative to the transfer portal, like some top talent getting greedy, but
sure.
I feel like in baseball it's only used for the benefit of the players.
Absolutely.
From what I've seen.
Just different opportunities.
Like there's your Tommy Whites of the world that
this one's skied foul and will not be grabbed by Catterhagen. Catterhagen was right along the railing of the Woodchucks dugout, but did not make the grab in foul territory, so Brennan Holt stays alive at 1-2.
That was just out of my view, so I have no shot of telling.
Yeah, we're not really able to see much here in this little booth we're in, here in Fond du Lac at Herr-Baker Field. The 5th of 6 times we'll be here this season.
Yes, we get to come back here again.
Sure do.
I love this place.
Aren't you so excited?
I love it.
What's not to love about good old Fond du Lac, Wisconsin? It's a hypothetical question. 1-2. And Holt skies it. It's in the shallow center. Going back for it is Drew Berrigan, the shortstop. And he grabs it. That's out number 3 here in the 6th. It's a 0 on the board for the Woodchucks. But thankfully, it's not really a 0 of harm, as it's still 9-0 into the bottom of the 6th. We'll be back for the bottom of the inning when we come back on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
I'm so glad you and Jack are home. His birthday was supposed to be today, right, Mom?
That's right.
He wanted to meet me 8 weeks early.
He sure gave us a scare, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's so perfect. It's just you and me, Jack. Can I take him to show and tell?
We'll see.
The savings are heating up this summer at Cellcom. Save up to $300 on the top phones from our most iconic brands. Plus, save $150 on all connected tablets, smartwatches, and cameras. Keep kids busy this summer with a tablet, track your steps with a smartwatch, or monitor your cabin with a camera. Now, unlimited data is more affordable than ever with our single unlimited plan, offering unlimited data for only $29.95 per month for just one line. Visit cellcom.com/save for details.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
Matt Milner's night is over, going 5 full, only allowing 1 hit, no runs, striking out 1, and walking 3. That was a fantastic outing by Matt Milner. I don't care about the walks and strikeouts. He wasn't going for strikeouts tonight. He was going for fly balls and ground balls, and he did a fantastic job of that. As coming into the game now is Dominic Reed, the Oklahoma State man from Little Elm, Texas. What are you hoping to see out of Dom here, Colin?
I'm hoping to see not a lot of free passes, him filling up the zone, because I feel like ever since I got here, he really hasn't found a footing. He's kind of let the game get ahead of him a little bit, and
he started the game where we lost 10-3 here.
Yeah,
and he let up 6 runs in 2 innings.
That was my first day here, but
okay.
I could definitely see the arm talent that he had, just because, as some people in baseball say, it's low effort. You could say, like,
sure.
It just comes out of his hand. I mean, I think he's 91, 93. He was up to 5.
Well, it's actually 36 if you see on the pitch clock here.
I think that picked up Ryan, but I think we're doing the +7 rule from the radar.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Ground ball over to Witter from the bat of Connor Cooney, and the throw in time to Brigham in.
But I don't think there's a single person in the country that actually believes a radar gun in a stadium.
Probably not.
Because from Louisville, Kentucky, I go to the Louisville Slugger Stadium all the time.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of my buddies work there, so I get some.
Oh, so you're a Kentucky fan from Louisville?
I am a Kentucky fan.
That must have not gone too well.
Well,
growing up,
you'd be surprised how many UK fans that live in Louisville, just because.
Oh, really?
Just because of the recent history with the athletics over at Louisville.
Oh, that's fair.
I don't want to speak upon, but yeah, there's been. Oh, that's a sword.
That is a swing. Absolutely. Strickler 1-1 count from Reed.
But grew up Kentucky fan. First Kentucky game ever was the night that I think it was 2007 or 2008 when Tim Tebow won Heisman. He got hit, I think, in the gut really hard, and he was puking the entire second half, I want to say. But that was back when Kentucky was winning 2 to 3 games a year in football. So we've got that number up a little.
There you go.
They got something going. So it's a lot easier to cheer for. But we are at a baseball game. That is my bad. We got a strike.
Well, when you get a little sidetracked, like you're saying, strike from Reed, and the count's 3-2. It says 3-1 the score, but there's 3-2. Yep, Reed, 3-2. Swing and a miss by Strickler. It's up 2 down here in the 6th. Nice strikeout by Reed, working back from a 3-1 count.
That is really nice to see him have enough confidence to throw behind in the count, because you'll see it commonly a lot. Just you'll get behind and you'll try to spot up pitches, and it doesn't play.
Dominic Reed came into this one in 5 appearances with 1 start, 0-2 record, and 8 flat ERA, 2.0 walks and hits per inning pitch. But his whip rate, 9 full innings pitched, has struck out 4, 10 hits, 9 runs, 8 earned. Walked 8 batters and came with an opposing batting average of 286. Now in for the 6th time, making his 6th relief appearance. And last time he was out, he did pretty good, though. That came against the Green Bay Rockers. 2 full innings of work, only allowing 1 walk and striking out 1, and 7 batters faced.
I do remember that now because we played home and home.
Yep.
Got in late that night. Had to wake up. I think I woke up at 1 that day, if I'm not mistaken. I got to the field around 3:30.
I cannot sleep, I'll tell you that much.
You have so much going on, you can't.
No, especially me. Not trying to say I don't have as much going on as you guys do, but you guys have everyday responsibilities to be here. I guess when you're a pitcher, it's not as demanding.
I lift about twice a week. I probably should go more, but it's a schedule I'm on for quote in season end quote lifting. It's how I stay the sharpest on the mound. But
Makes sense.
Probably change that up when I go back to school. But I think we have a broken bat situation.
And Teddy Dieters was stepping off of the batter's box to try and get a new bat. I think you're right, yeah, because he's been off for a solid minute now. But he steps back in, the right-handed batting first baseman, I guess, playing DH tonight. Ground ball, and
No way.
they're gonna say it hit his foot. Okay then.
We'll accept it just because they're the guys. As Dominic Reed lets a ball go through the wickets.
Right through his legs, right through the 5-hole.
But they're the guys in charge. They keep the game in order, so we listen to them. I would say we respect their viewpoint.
Absolutely, have to. 0-2 again, Reed, and it's a low off-speed pitch, and it's 1-2. Dominic Reed coming off the past season, his freshman year with Oklahoma State, where he only made 3 appearances, only pitched in 4 full innings, and now has really debuted big time on the mound this summer for Wausau. Outside fastball.
Looking at his stats here, what I said earlier about the walk and earn run, 8-8, as you can see. So I guess the easiest way to stay out of trouble in this league is
not walk batters. That's a ground ball over to Mitchell by Dieters. Good play, letting it hop a couple times.
There we go.
And that's a stretch of Brigham for out number 3. And that takes us into inning number 7. As we are heading into the final 3. Woodchucks up 9-0, looking for win number 1 of the season here at Herr-Baker Field. We'll be back on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, you know, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
Over 600,000 Americans are projected to die of cancer this year. 250,000 will likely battle muscular dystrophy. 5,000 may be diagnosed with ALS. But one person can become the difference. All it takes is you to help researchers improve the health of Wisconsinites by participating in the All of Us research program. Join today to feel the power of one.
To buy your own Woodchucks merchandise, visit the Woodshed at Athletic Park, or you can visit our website, www.woodchucks.com. Big thanks to Colin Murphy for coming on the broadcast. Always fun to have one of the pitchers or any player in general from the Woodchucks come on. As now, just Will Charlton with you for the rest of the way, as Murphy heading back down to the bullpen to hang out with his pitchers. And the Woodchucks start the 7th with the top of the order and Colby Wallace. Colby Wallace is 0 for 3 with a hit by pitch and a run. He scored the 9th of 9. And his last up in the 5th. And now he leads off the 6th here. And he swings through the pitch from the new pitcher of the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders. That's Hunter Davis, number 29, the right-hander. After Cade Walker goes 2 full innings. Matt Milner in line for the win. JT Hocker's in line for the loss as Colby Wall swings and misses through the fastball thrown by Hunter Davis, the right-hander from Lewisville, Texas, and by way of the College of the Incarnate Word. Wallace, who had a hit in game 1, looking to now record a hit in 3 straight games. As he fouls off the 2-2, stays alive from Davis. So the 2-2 once again, and Wallace swings or fouls it off again. The center fielder tonight from the town of Rancho Santa Margarita, California, and the Cal State Fullerton Titan of the Big West Conference. 2-2 from Davis, and Wallace fouls it off for a third time. 9 runs, 13 hits, as opposed to no runs, 1 hit, and 2 errors for the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders. Tale of 2 games today, as it was all Fond du Lac in game 1, the 6-1 win in 6 innings. As now tonight, it's all Woodchucks, 9-0 here in the top of the 7th. And with 4 more runs scored than the season total coming into tonight in 33 innings, like Colin and I were talking about not too long ago. And that is ball 4 from Hunter Davis. First batter faced sends Colby Wallace off to first base, and the Woodchucks are rolling. As Colby Wallace leads off the top of the 7th with a walk, and the second time on base for the center fielder. Hunter Davis now facing off against Brent Witter after the 1-2-3 of Dominic Reed. And Brent Witter, who is 4 for 4 with 2 RBIs, 2 doubles, 2 singles, and 2 runs. Looking for 5 for 5 now. He had 3 hits in the 18-7 win over the Green Bay Rockers. And he hits this one into left field. Brent Witter, 5 for 5. Wow. What a night for the third baseman from Evansville. His bat is electric. It's on fire. Brent Witter, have yourself a day. Five for 5 night. Brent, who was 2 for 4 in the loss to Green Bay last night. As Schallenberger takes high off speed for ball 1 from Hunter Davis with runners on first and second. Woodchucks looking for more than just 9. As Schallenberger, who is 2 for 3, up for the 5th time. He's also reached on a hit by pitch, but has a triple and a single. One from Hunter Davis. And Schallenberger takes it outside. Two one to Schallenberger, the Evansville ace, the left fielder. And he fouls off the 2-1. It's now 2-2. Schallenberger having another very nice night at the plate. Now on a 7-game hit streak in only 8 games played. which is still just crazy to say, as he has been on a tear to start this summer in the second half for himself. Certainly up from that 444 batting average now as well. 2-2 from Davis. And this one's hit into left center. Travis Strickler's under it and makes the grab for out number 1 here in the 7th. Schallenberger's flown out for the second time. And now with 1 out comes Colin Brigham, who is 2 for 4 tonight. Double, home run, 2 RBIs, runs scored, 2 strikeouts. So a very good night for Brigham after his 15-game hit streak came to an end after last night's 0 for 4 game at the plate. He was the DH last night, now playing first base in this game. Or he was first base last night. Jake Baker was DH. Takes high outside, fastball from Davis for strike, or ball 1 rather. (1-0) from Davis to Brigham. And Brigham takes the fastball low in the zone for strike 1. On deck is Drew Berkland for the Woodchucks here in the 7th, as they are looking to add a bit more cushion to the already 9-run lead. 1-1. And Brigham hits one into foul territory. It's playable too, as Serene is in there and makes the grab in foul territory. That's 2 outs now in the 7th. The Woodchucks, who have not won a game here yet at Herr-Baker Field, they're 0-4. Now have this game and then the final one, which is in August, to at least win a couple, well on their way to win their first here tonight. Tomorrow night, make sure to come out to Athletic Park for the start of a 2-game set with the Lakeshore Chinooks, 6:35 p.m. first pitch. Or if you're not able to make it out to the ballpark, make sure to tune into the Northwoods League Baseball Network, as you can hear my call on there tomorrow night. Next time the Woodchucks are on the road will be Saturday and Sunday in Green Bay. Both those games right back here on the Woodchucks Baseball Network. As Wallace had a big lead at second, and Catterhagen tried to throw him out, but Jacob Anderson had to catch it well off the second base bag, so Wallace just fine over there at second. Tomorrow night, the Superstars will be in town for the Woodchucks. So make sure to come out for a really fun performance by the Superstars, who will be providing live game entertainment from innings 1 to 9. It'll be a really fun night tomorrow night at Athletic Park, so if you're able to, make sure to come out to the ball game for the Woodchucks and the Lakeshore Chinooks. Third time the Chinooks will be in Wausau this season. 2-1 from Davis to Berkland. And Berkland hits this one deep into left field. But Strickler is back there near the scoreboard to make the grab for out number 3. And that ends the top of the 7th. It's time to stretch it out here with the Woodchucks lead of 9-0. Happy 7th inning stretch for the Woodchucks faithful, as we are 9 outs away from win number 1 here at Herr-Baker Field. This is Woodchucks Baseball on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
Over 600,000 Americans are projected to die of cancer this year. 250,000 will likely battle muscular dystrophy. 5,000 may be diagnosed with ALS. But one person can become the difference. All it takes is you to help researchers improve the health of Wisconsinites by participating in the All of Us research program. Join today to feel the power of one.
To buy your own Woodchucks merchandise, visit the Woodshed at Athletic Park, or you can visit our website, www.woodchucks.com.
I'm so glad you and Jack are home. His birthday was supposed to be today, right, Mom?
That's right.
He wanted to meet me 8 weeks early.
He sure gave us a scare, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's so perfect. It's just you and me, Jack Jack. Can I take him to show and tell?
We'll see.
Dominic Reed into the second inning of work. After he went 1-2-3 in his first inning in the sixth, he's facing off against Jacob Anderson, the Michigan State Spartan, to lead off the seventh, and he is feeling comfortable. Obviously, as a pitcher, you get a more focused mentality with a big lead of 9-0. You can go right at batters, not really worrying about giving up a run, especially in this ballpark, too, where fly balls are very hard to hit out. We've seen a lot of well-hit ones miss home runs by just a few feet, especially by the bats of English and Birkeland tonight. But Colin Brinkman was able to get one just over the right field wall for the fourth home run of the season hit here at Herr-Baker Field in general. And Dominic Reed, now 2-2 to Jacob Anderson. Reed forced 2 groundouts and a strikeout in the sixth. The final inning that Colin was up here with me as well. That was, once again, another really fun and enjoyable time to have a player join the broadcast. Second time we've had that this season, as swinging and missing is Jacob Anderson. And that's the second strikeout for Dominic Reed. And Matt Milner was saying before, he was hoping for 5 full off him and then 4 full from Reed. So, maybe we'll see if Reed can come in and finish up the game for the Woodchucks as well, as his first pitch off speed misses low to Brady Catterhagen, the catcher from UW-Platteville. Catterhagen in the game, only up for the third time. It's been that kind of night for the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders. 1-0. Catterhagen on the ground. It's over to Brennan Holt at second base. Fielded cleanly. And that is 5 up, 5 down for Dominic Reed since coming into the ballgame. There has only been 4 base runners allowed in the whole game, and 3 have been off walks. Only 1 hit, and it was a single by this guy who's coming to the plate right now, Jake Serrain. Also in risk of ending is a 17-game on-base streak by Connor Cooney. 0-2, or first pitch swinging by Serrain. It's hit softly over to Mitchell at shortstop. And the throw is in time to Colin Brigham. 6 up, 6 down for Dominic Reed, and we're into the 8th. It's 9-0 Wausau, as the Woodchucks back up to bat for the top of the 8th when we come back from Herr-Baker Field.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
Over 600,000 Americans are projected to die of cancer this year. 250,000 will likely battle muscular dystrophy. 5,000 may be diagnosed with ALS. But one person can become the difference. All it takes is you to help researchers improve the health of Wisconsinites by participating in the All of Us research program. Join today to feel the power of one.
To buy your own Woodchucks merchandise, visit the Woodshed at Athletic Park, or you can visit our website, www.woodchucks.com. Hunter Davis is still out there pitching for the Dock Spiders. As leading off the 8th will be the shortstop Christian Mitchell, the Central Michigan man, who's 0 for 2 with 2 walks tonight. Christian Mitchell, righty-righty matchup between himself and Hunter Davis. Every Woodchuck has reached once in the game, and that came after Colby Wallace's hit by pitch in the 5th. And first pitch right down the middle for strike 1 from Hunter Davis to Mitchell. 0-1. And that one gets away from Hunter Davis on the fastball. In fact, every Woodchuck has now reached base twice in the game. I guess Drew Berkland technically didn't reach once. This one's hit into right field and is caught by Teddy Dieters, who's out there in right field. So Teddy Dieters is in right field. Kelson Johnson's at first base. That was what I've been tripping up on the whole game. So Dieters retires Mitchell for out number 1, as that brings up Jake English. Jake English, 2 for 4, 2 doubles and an RBI. And fastball in there for strike 1 from Hunter Davis. 1-1 with 1 out here in the top of the 8th inning. Davis, curveball taken high by English. 2-1. Davis, high off-speed pitch. And English now 3-1 count. And it does not hit the low inside corner. It misses just outside. That's a 5-pitch walk to Jake English, and he's off to first base. Jake English now on for the 3rd time of the game, as that brings up Ryan Blackwell, the catcher from Oral Roberts University, who is having himself a very good game. He is 2 for 3 rather. Has reached 3 times, 2 RBIs. Has his first extra base hit of the season. It's a double, as the ball gets away from Davis on the pitching mound on the throwback from Paul Smith, who's now catching. Woodchucks on their way to splitting another 2-game set in the second half. The only set they haven't split was with the Madison Mowers after that game was postponed due to the tragic event on Sunday that took the life of umpire Connor McKenzie. Still sending all prayers and thoughts out to the family and loved ones of Connor McKenzie on both the sides of the Mallards and the Woodchucks. That game now being played on August 1st down at Warner Park. 1-1, and Blackwell fouls it off. And Blackwell fouls off the 1-2 once again. Stays alive in the count and is looking to extend the bat even further, or extend the at-bat even further, I should say. 1-2, 1 out with Jake English at second base, and after he advanced on a pass ball. And that one nearly getting away from Paul Smith, but good stop by the catcher. That's ball 2. Top of the 8th inning. Blackwell, 2-2 count from Davis. And that's right down the middle, strike 3. Ryan Blackwell down looking. First strikeout for Hunter Davis in 2 innings. As now coming to the plate with 2 outs is Brendan Holt. Brendan Holt 1 for 4. Had that RBI single in the second. Brendan Holt was 0 for 3 in Game 1, the leadoff spot. Top of the order in Game 1. And he swings through the off-speed by Hunter Davis. Hunter Davis, the 5'9", 195 junior right-hander. Looking to get out of the 8th here. 0-1. Holt takes high off-speed. 1-1. The pitch, 1-1 to Holt. Misses high and outside. Haven't had a chance to really introduce the stats of Hunter Davis yet. So we will do that in just a moment as we await the 2-1. And Holt takes it inside. 3-1 count. And Holt down the right field line, but it's going foul. It goes into the bullpen of the Woodchucks. Hunter Davis making his 5th appearance. 16.2 ERA, 6 2/3 innings pitched. Has allowed 11 hits, 12 runs all earned. Has walked 9, struck out 5. Has a whip of 3 and an opposing batting average of 379. And Brendan Holt stays alive at 3-2 once again. Hunter Davis also coming in for the second time against the Woodchucks. Third time, rather, against the Woodchucks. Both came in losses at Athletic Park. Payoff, 2 outs to Holt. And it's low and in the dirt. And that's a walk. Brendan Holt on base for the second time in the game, and that brings up the top of the order. And Colby Wallace, Woodchucks going through for the 6th time now. As Brendan Holt off to first. Jake English still at second. Colby Wallace looking to keep the inning going himself. Up for the second time in 2 innings. Was walked in the 7th. He's still 0 for 3 though, but has reached base twice. Was hit by a pitch and was walked, as well as scoring a run. Was the last runner to come around for the Woodchucks so far in this game. As Hunter Davis misses low on the fastball, it's 2-0. Last time out against the Woodchucks, Hunter Davis went 3 full innings, allowing 3 hits, 3 runs all earned, striking out 3, and walking 2 in the 16-8 loss for the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders. 2-0 to Wallace. Wallace thought about swinging at the outside fastball, but lays off it. And it's a 3-0 count. There is an arm warming up in the bullpen for the Dock Spiders. It's a left-hander, it looks like. 3-0 to Wallace. And a misses low. It's a 4-pitch walk as that loads the bases up. Third time on base for Wallace. And now comes a man who is 5 for 5. But now we're going to have Doug Coe heading out there to field manager for the Dock Spiders. And he is going to go out there and have a chit-chat with Hunter Davis, as the infield will congregate as well. Up next for the Dock Spiders, a 2-game set with the Wisconsin Rapids Rafters, as Doug Coe will leave his right-hander in the game before he faces off against the hottest bat by far in the order tonight for the Woodchucks. It's Brent Witter, who's up for the 6th time. He's 5 for 5 and has bases loaded here in the 8th. 2 doubles, 3 triples, and 2 runs scored for Witter. Witter takes first pitch fastball for strike 1. the Evansville ace, who now has eclipsed the 30 hit mark on the season. 0-1, Witter thought about it but laid off it. Brent Witter came into this game with 28 hits, now at 33. Had 5 in the last 2 games set against the Green Bay Rockers. Hits this one down the third baseline, but will be put out at third is Brennan Holt on the fielder's choice. And that will end the 8th. Witter does not record a 6th hit, but he's now 5 for 6 in the game. And it's still 9-0 Wausau after 7.5 played here tonight. You're listening to Woodchucks Baseball, the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
The savings are heating up this summer at Cellcom. Save up to $300 on the top phones from our most iconic brands. Plus, save $150 on all connected tablets, smartwatches, and cameras. Keep kids busy this summer with a tablet, track your steps with a smartwatch, or monitor your cabin with a camera. Now, unlimited data is more affordable than ever with our single unlimited plan, offering unlimited data for only $29.95 per month for just one line. Visit cellcom.com/save for details.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, you know, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
Bottom of the 8th inning, it's time for Dominic Reed's third inning of work as the first pitch outside fastball to Kelson Johnson. He has only faced off against 6 batters and has retired all 6, has Dominic Reed, who's in for the second time against the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders here at Herr-Baker Field this season. The last time here, well, it's not exactly the best for Dominic Reed. Only pitched 2 full innings. He gave up 6 hits, 6 runs all earned, and walked 2 batters. So far, he has 2 strikeouts and back-to-back 1-2-3 innings. And his first facing off against Kelson Johnson here. To start the 8th, it's 3-0. And Reed finds his spot. Elevated fastball for strike 1. Kelson Johnson, 0 for 2 with a reach on fielder's choice and a stolen base. 3-1. Swing and a miss on a fastball low in the zone. And the count is full to Dominic Reed, who's looking to retire his 7th straight batter since coming in. Payoff. And it misses high and outside. That's the first base runner allowed by Dominic Reed in the game. Only the 5th base runner in the game for 5th earned base runner, that is. They've had 6 total. As Johnson's reach on fielder's choice was a putout of Serene at second after his second inning single, which is still the only hit on the board of the game. That brings up the Washington man. Baron Zamora, 0 for 2. Lays off the high fastball for ball 1 from Reed. Bullpen catcher Matt McGann still without any gear on, so Brock Moss, the field manager for the Woodchucks, letting Dominic Reed ride it out for a bit longer. 1-0. Strike 1 on a fastball. Baron Zamora came into this game only 2 played without a hit yet. 1-1. And he swings through the off speed by Reed. Couple of recent freshmen facing off against each other. As the Dock Spiders do have Kelson Johnson at first. Broken bat. This could be a tough play for Mitchell. The throw will be in time to bring him in. That ball died in the infield, and Christian Mitchell still able to make the play. Well done by Christian Mitchell. But heading over to second was Kelson Johnson. So if that ball was hit a little bit harder, that could have been a double play, but it's a broken bat contact that almost worked like a sacrifice, as now at second base is Kelson Johnson, chatting it up with Brendan Holt there. Drew Berrigan, 0 for 2, the Embry-Riddle Aeronautical product. Up for the third time. Teammates of Travis Strickler down in Arizona. Reed, fastball, strike one. Drew Berrigan, the native of Trabuco Canyon, California. Oh, 1 from Reed. Swings and misses on the elevated fastball, and the count's 0-2. One out here in the bottom of the eighth. 0-2 to Berrigan. Swing and a miss. And Dominic Reed strikes him out. Only 3 strikes, and that's back-to-back outs. After allowing the leadoff walk to Johnson, and that is now 8 of 9 batters retired faced for Dominic Reed since coming into the ballgame. And we're 1 out away from the 9th, where we will hope to see the Woodchucks bats for the last time. Really, really hope that's the case, at least. Connor Cooney, 16-game on-base streak on the line here. He's 0 for 3, has not reached once yet. Made that a 17-game on-base streak he reached in the first game as well. 1-0, and the off-speed misses outside. Two-0 to the College of the Holy Cross man, Connor Cooney. Reed. The 2-0. And that's an elevated fastball for strike one. Connor Cooney, the Nowat, Colorado product. Making his way on up to Massachusetts to play college baseball. 2-1. Taken outside. And Connor Cooney 1 ball away from extending a 17-game on-base streak to 18 games. Four of the 5 earned base runners have been off walks in the game. Only 1 hit, which is still off the bat of Jake Serrain. 3-1. And Cooney fouls it off. It'll be a 3-2 count with 2 outs, as the Woodchucks look to put this thing into the 9th inning. Payoff pitch. Reed in there for strike 3. And Connor Cooney goes down looking. That ends the 8th, and Dominic Reed has picked up 4 strikeouts in 3 innings pitched. He is dealing tonight. He has retired 9 of 10 batters faced, and we're into the 9th here as the Woodchucks 3 outs away from winning their first game at Herr-Baker Field this season, but they'll come up to bat one last time when we come back on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
Over 600,000 Americans are projected to die of cancer this year. 250,000 will likely battle muscular dystrophy. 5,000 may be diagnosed with ALS. But one person can become the difference. All it takes is you to help researchers improve the health of Wisconsinites by participating in the All of Us research program. Join today to feel the power of one.
To buy your own Woodchucks merchandise, visit the Woodshed at Athletic Park, or you can visit our website, www.woodchucks.com.
I'm so glad you and Jack are home. His birthday was supposed to be today, right, Mom?
That's right.
He wanted to meet me 8 weeks early.
He sure gave us a scare, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's so perfect. It's just you and me, Jack Jack. Can I take him to show and tell?
We'll see.
It's time for the 9th inning, as the Woodchucks more than likely have to bat for the last time, before they will need 3 outs to try and close the game. As it starts off with the left fielder tonight, Mark Schallenberger, facing off against new pitcher Jack Niedringhaus for the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders. His first breaking ball in there for strike 1. Niedringhaus, the left-hander from Xavier University. Back-to-back breaking balls, with that one missing high on the curveball. Native of St. Louis, Missouri. Just like Mark Schallenberger is. So a little St. Louis matchup here between a couple of lefties. Breaking ball, strike 2. Or that one just missing high as well. 2-1 from Niedringhaus to Schallenberger. He hits this one way down the left field line. It's going foul, though. That was a powerfully hit push baseball. My goodness. Niedringhaus making his 10th appearance, an ERA of 1.72. 1-1 record, 15 and 2/3 innings pitched, has allowed 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, has walked 13 and struck out 8. He also has an opposing batting average of 137 and a whip of 1.28. Niedringhaus 2-2 to Schallenberger. And the curveball misses high. Schallenberger, 2 for 4 in the game. Triple and a single, and a hit by pitch. 3-2. And Schallenberger towers it. It's hit into shallow right. Going back for it is Jacob Anderson. And he grabs it. That's out number 1 here at the top of the 9th. And now Colin Brigham up to the plate. And Brigham towers it. And it goes foul. And outside breaking ball for strike 1. Or ball 1, rather. And now it's 2-2 count. And Brigham swings and misses. That is strikeout number 1 for Niedringhaus. And Brigham down for the 4th time. He finishes the night 2 for 6. But those 2 hits being a double, a home run, and finishing with 2 RBIs as well as a run scored. And now Drew Berkland looks to come to the plate and avoid being the last batter faced for Niederinghaus. 0-1. And the breaking ball just drops low in a lefty-righty matchup. Berkland, that's up to middle. And he picks up his actual first hit of the game after being credited with the reach on air back in the 5th. So he does single, and he keeps it going for the Woodchucks. As now Christian Mitchell comes to the plate for the 6th time. He is 0 for 3 with 2 walks. Niederinghaus gets him swinging and missing at the 1-0. One, and Mitchell fouls it off. One, two outs. And this one's hit down the right field line, but goes foul by Mitchell. One, two outs. And that one misses high. So now the 2-2 to Christian Mitchell. Niederinghaus, lefty-righty. Mitchell on the ground, and he keeps in and going. Back-to-back singles. And he picks up a hit tonight. So he'll finish 1 for 4 as Berkland off to second base as well. And why not? Let's keep the inning going, have a little bit of fun if you're the Wausau Woodchucks. The 9th inning not just over yet, as now that's the 16th hit of the game. 9 runs, 16 hits for the Woodchucks. Now Jake English. And he takes high off speed. 1-0. English on the ground. That's to Jacob Anderson. And he'll make the quick play. To Kelson Johnson at first. That ends the inning. That's a ground out. The Woodchucks look to close it and win their first game of the season here at Herr-Baker Field when we come back for the bottom of the 9th on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
I'm so glad you and Jack are home. His birthday was supposed to be today, right, Mom?
That's right.
He wanted to meet me 8 weeks early.
He sure gave us a scare, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's so perfect. It's just you and me, Jack. Can I take him to show and tell?
We'll see.
The savings are heating up this summer at Cellcom. Save up to $300 on the top phones from our most iconic brands. Plus, save $150 on all connected tablets, smartwatches, and cameras. Keep Keep kids busy this summer with a tablet, track your steps with a smartwatch, or monitor your cabin with a camera. Now, unlimited data is more affordable than ever with our single unlimited plan, offering unlimited data for only $29.95 per month for just one line. Visit cellcom.com/save for details.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
The Woodchucks 3 outs away from shutout win number 2 of the season. And the first win here at Herr-Baker Field as Dominic Reed looking for 4 shutout innings of work after it would be a shutout win for Wausau. It's Travis Strickler up to the plate. He is 0 for 1. 2 walks, both coming in the first and the third, and then he struck out his third at-bat in the 6th. He's up for the 4th time and leads off the 9th. 1-1 from Reed. Strickler swings through. Deep breaking ball. And it's a 1-2 count. It's Travis Strickler, who came into this game with 46 hits, batting .317. 1-2, and he fouls it off. It was all Dock Spiders in game 1 of this doubleheader, and today it's all Woodchucks. The Dock Spiders won the first game after 6 innings, 6-1. And now it's the Woodchucks who are having fun in this one. That one's hit into unplayable territory by Travis Strickler. Into the stands it goes, and he stays alive at 1-2. 10 o'clock here in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. As it'll be Reed delivering the 1-2. Strickler on the ground, and it's into center field. He leads off the 9th with a single and the second hit only of the game for the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders. As now that brings up Teddy Dieters to the plate with a runner on first. And Dieters comes to the plate 0 for 3, the Xavier Musketeer and the first baseman. And does not come through on the check swing. So he stays home. That's a ball 1. One out to Dieters. That's a ground ball. It's softly hit. Strickler's easily at second base. And Dieters thrown out at first. First out here in the 9th. As now with no double play ball in effect, and a runner at second base comes Jacob Anderson, the Michigan State Spartan, who just like Teddy Dieters comes into the at-bat at 0 for 3. Only 3 Dock Spiders in the lineup have reached base in this game. And first pitch. Strike 1 from Dominic Reed. 0-1, 1 out. Swung at into foul territory by Anderson. Woodchucks on the verge of win number 24 overall and win number 4 in the second half. A win tonight puts them at 4-5 in the second half and 24-20 overall. Fond du Lac would fall to 17-18 and 4-6 in the second half. And the season total would be tied at 5 apiece. And each team would be 4-1 at their respective home fields. Woodchucks 4-1 at home at Athletic Park against the Dock Spiders. So far, it's Fond du Lac 4-0 here at Herr-Baker Field. But the Woodchucks 2 outs away from adding a 1 into the win category for themselves here on the road. Dominic Reed misses outside, and the count is 2-2 to Jacob Anderson. A couple of balls thrown in a row. Dominic Reed has only allowed 1 hit and 1 walk so far, but has struck out 4. 2-2. And Anderson on the ground again. And a nice kick stop by the field manager, Doug Coe, for the Dock Spiders. That hit by Strickler was only the second hit of the game total for the Dock Spiders. That started off the inning. Reed, 2-2. On the ground. This one foul again by Anderson. He's having a good at-bat here, trying to stay alive as well as he can. Two-two once again between Reed and Anderson. Oklahoma State versus Michigan State. And it gets underneath the legs of the catcher, Ryan Blackwell, and the pitch did miss low. So now at third base is Travis Strickler, as it'll be a full count to Jacob Anderson. And this is absolutely Dominic Reed's game to finish up, of course. If the Woodchucks are able to get 2 more outs before the Dock Spiders score 9, it'll be a win for Matt Milner. Full count, 1 out. And that hit Jacob Anderson. That puts runners on the corners. He is now the 4th batter to reach base in the game. Runners now in the corners with 1 out. It has now come to play as someone else who's 0 for 3. It's Brady Catterhagen. As Ross Davis going to call time, the pitching coach, and head out to discuss some things with Dominic Reed. My mistake, it'll be Paul Smith batting, not Brady Catterhagen. Paul Smith will see his first appearance at the plate tonight. The catcher from Rice University was catching game 1 of the doubleheader earlier today. Paul Smith went 1 for 3 with a walk and was struck out twice from between Colin Murphy and I guess both strikeouts would have come against Colin Murphy. Well, let's think about this. So Colin Murphy came in the second, went until the 4th. So 1 strikeout was against Colin Murphy. That was 1 of 4 strikeouts for Colin Murphy in game 1. Paul Smith. Reed, first pitch to Smith. Fastball. And going over to second base to put the double play ball out of effect is Jacob Anderson, stolen base. So now the first and second runs are at second and third. 0-1 to Smith. And he swings through the fastball low in the zone. He's down 0-2. The Dock Spiders trying to avoid a shutout have 2 runs in scoring position. And Smith thought about it, but lays off the outside pitch, and the count's 1-2. 1 out here in the 9th. You're Dominic Reed. You can't worry about either base runner. 1-2. And Smith just lays off the outside fastball. A couple of pitches in the exact same spot, basically, by Dominic Reed, as he's looking for out number 2 here in the 9th. 2-2. Reed. And the breaking ball just drops. Count is full to Paul Smith, with Jake Serene on deck, the third baseman. Dominic Reed looking for out number 2 here. He's Now thrown 3 straight pitches out of the zone after being up 0-2. The payoff. And it's outside. After being down the count 0-2, Reed allows a walk to Paul Smith, and that's the first walk of the inning, second of the outing for Dominic Reed, as now the double play ball is back in effect. If once hit on the ground, there is a force at every base, including home. So Jake Serrain, he puts one on the ground. That could spell the final 2 outs of the game. Dominic Reed, first pitch to Serrain, fastball right down Broadway. Woodchucks risking not pitching a shutout. 0-1, and it's 0-2. Serrain swinging over the fastball. Dominic Reed and Matt Milne are the only 2 pitchers used in this game so far for the Woodchucks. 0-2. And this one's on the ground. Dominic Reed is just going to chuck it to first base. And the shutout's over. The Dock Spiders score a run as Strickler comes home. And the Woodchucks cannot shut out the Dock Spiders. So much for the second shutout win of the season. But Serrain out on the 1-3, and there's 2 outs with runners at second and third now. And Paul Smith and Jacob Anderson. Kelson Johnson up once again. He's 0 for 2 with a walk and a reach on fielder's choice. 0-1 from Reed. 0-2 from Reed. Swings through the breaking ball. And the Dock Spiders down to their final strike. Reed, 0-2, 2 outs. And it just misses outside on the fastball. 1-2 to Kelson Johnson, the St. Petersburg College product. Recent freshman from Lithia, Florida. And he swings and misses. 5th strikeout for Dominic Reed, and that shuts the door on this one. That'll do it. Woodchucks take it 9-1. They don't pitch the shutout, but they do win by 8 runs, and that's their first win of the season here at Herr-Baker Field. They're now 1-4 on the road, and overall it's a 5-5 series split with the Dock Spiders heading into the final home and home, which comes in August. They split the doubleheader today. Scores of 6-1 and 9-1 for the winning sides. And the Woodchucks now 24-20 overall, 4-5 in the second half. They'll take that record into a meeting with the Lakeshore Chinooks tomorrow night. 6:35 first pitch on the Northwoods League Baseball Network. Make sure to tune in to my call tomorrow night if you can't make it out to Athletic Park. But for now, thank you so much for listening tonight. Will Charlton signing off until next time here on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.